yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 314.
Tell them.
Yes, sir. It's your boy, Gabe Patillo, with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you so much for being here. It is our 6th birthday, baby.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. That's
amazing.
It's very weird that it's falling on the exact same day as we release. Like, with the first podcast we ever released was on September 21st, and it was a Friday. And here we are again, September 21st, and it's a Friday.
It's so cool.
Look at that.
So great.
6 years, dude. Come on now.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ed.
Happy birthday, Ed,
guys.
our first and only listener for like the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Ed has literally been with us the whole ride.
Day one.
So much fun.
I was like, hey, we need a listener.
Hey, we need a couple questions.
I'm doing a thing.
You don't mind if we call you Ted for every other question, do you?
Exactly. Does it sound stupid, or should we keep going? So you guys can thank Ed for us still being here.
That's right. Ed was the front
refer
runner.
to him as variant versions of Ed every time. So we have Ted on the line. Oh,
That's
Fred's
right.
giving us a call.
That's Fred.
Ned reached out to us.
Exactly.
I was like, yes, it does sound stupid, but please keep going.
You guys should pick it up a little bit. And what's weird is that, just looking back, we should have like created something for our 6th birthday, but we're not that ahead of the game on stuff.
No.
I think the very first episode, strangely enough, did start with an "Oh yes, yes, y'all." Except it was just way toned down.
Can you do an impression of that? Oh, yes, yes, y'all.
Yeah, it was like, "Oh yes, yes, y'all."
And now insert the actual one.
Oh yes, yes, y'all. It's married to the games.
And there we go.
It has grown.
Just a little.
That's different, right?
Just a
That's
little.
a different intro. So anyway, back then, like a lot of podcasts just starting out, you ain't really got your bearings yet.
Right.
You know,
Take some time.
yeah, don't really know what to say. You don't know if anybody's listening, so you're really just like speaking to the air.
Yeah.
And it was me and the two Tims, man.
Yeah, man.
6 years ago.
It's crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy. What's crazier is today, the day of recording, is Amara's 7th birthday.
Holy smokes, your girl is 7. Wow.
So that means we started the podcast like 2 days after she turned 1, or a day after she turned 1.
I forgot you've had
Nice.
2 podcast babies.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 podcast babies. We haven't had a podcast divorce yet, so that's good.
Oh, thank you, Jesus, for that.
Not all the podcasts, at least.
I got mine out of the way before the podcast started.
Oh, man. Jeez Louise, Edward.
The preemptive divorce.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to be doing this thing. I should go ahead and get
I
divorced.
should just go ahead and get
Girl
this
of my
taken.
dreams.
That's right. Yeah, let's skip chapter 1. Let's go right to the second chapter.
Get the heartbreak out of the way, so I have to be like, hey, I'm not going to be around for the next couple months.
That's
right. He's all unshaven. I'm just gonna play some video games.
Yeah, I'm going through a thing. Anybody have a cat? Yeah.
Ed's on sabbatical again.
For the 30th time
We're
this
all not
month.
talking about it. Oh, shoot. We're like, Ed, thanks for joining us. Ed is still on break. We're not praying for him or anything. Just know he's just doing his thing.
The prayers are over. He's just got his pizza boxes all spread out on the couch. And we're just going to let him rot there for a little while.
All right. You open the door, just Cheeto dust just hits you in the face.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I come in looking like myself, leave looking like Donald Trump.
That's right.
All right.
We can keep going. I mean,
Gosh,
it's our 6th
I
birthday.
know.
Hey.
It's true. It's true.
Gentlemen, here's to another 6 years. It's so awesome.
Yes, sir. It's my party. I will rant if I
I
want
am
to.
enjoying this ride with you guys
You can
always.
be loud if you want to as well.
and it's great. That's right.
I love it. Good times. And we've had dreams come true. Like the dream when we first started the podcast was to get everyone to E3. And we freaking did that crap.
Yeah, we did that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh. So great. Ed, you have not been getting divorced.
No.
What have you been doing this last week?
Well, Sarah did leave.
Oh, she did
So
leave me.
it might feel like it for a little while, but so Ed is running around in his underwear somewhere.
Exactly.
Dishes in the sink, pizza
Yeah.
boxes everywhere. So we're kind of right.
Yeah, it's similar. Like he still is like sitting at home alone playing video games.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But it's just different.
Yeah.
Tell us how it's different.
It's a little different. Sarah, I dropped her off at the airport yesterday. She is off on a Zumba
That
tour.
is cold-blooded. She made you take her to the airport too?
Exactly.
Take me to the airport. I'm about.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm leaving you. Take me to the airport.
It's like being married to Omarosa over here.
It's like going through a bad divorce, but you're a Lyft driver.
Exactly. It's like, go get an Uber, babe. Let's go. Bye.
After she slams the door, your phone goes off. Ding, ding. You have a drive to the airport.
Yeah, I got Spider-Man to re-platinum. Off you go. Uber it is. Go.
Yeah, they're requesting a minivan.
Because it's Auburn, Indiana, I'm the only Lyft driver in the area.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
No,
It's not
yeah,
Uber,
that's
it's Eber.
That's right. I dropped Sarah off yesterday. She's going off on a Zumba tour. So she is actually in Arizona right now.
Wow.
Ooh, nice.
Or I'm sorry, New Mexico. She'll be in Arizona later on. But she is gone for a month.
What?
Whoa.
A month
welcome to
straight?
my
A
world.
month straight. Yeah, I know.
Are
right?
you going and meeting her anywhere?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just. I will
Wow.
be here.
All right,
She will be
everybody
there.
congregate at Ed's house. We're having a huge party.
Yeah, I'll
right.
be up there in a minute.
Yeah, I'll be
That's
up there
right.
in about, 12 hours? No. It's not that far.
No. But so yeah, just she's excited, and she goes once a year on this Zumba tour with a friend of hers, and they just go and travel and teach Zumba classes. So she'll be in New Mexico and Arizona and Colorado, and just kind of hitting that area and what have you. So that was yesterday. So I haven't completely gone into the pizza boxes filling. I've only had a day to fill the house with pizza boxes. So
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
so far so good.
You haven't made a fort yet.
Exactly. In 30
That's
days,
right.
there'll be a fort. There'll be a whole addition to the house.
Yeah, Ed's going to be playing real life Fortnite.
That's right.
Just peeking out
Riding
the
an
cat.
actual loot llama.
Big purple cube on my front yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, safe travels to you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, thanks for listening too.
Yep. Exactly.
Don't go whitewater rafting with anybody you don't know.
That's right.
Not without your husband.
That's true. My prediction from last week was it rang true. I platinumed Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
So, yeah, it
no
was-
more
it
than
was
no
a-
Placentia.
Well done.
Exactly. So it was
I'm
a lot
so
of
happy
fun.
about that. It made me so happy when I saw that alert. On
Aw.
the little tweet.
Fantastic, brother. Well done.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. It was a great game. Sarah is still, before she left at least, she was still going to town with Spider-Man. I think she's at 60% of the way through.
Nice.
And so
Further than I am.
she's playing it on, what's it called? It's not called
PlayStation
Easy.
4.
PlayStation 4, yes.
Jeez.
It's called Friendly. I know because
Friendly.
Stacy actually started it up tonight.
Yes. She's playing it on what's the easy mode, which is called
Yeah.
friendly. And it's very funny because throughout most of the battles, she's like, there's no way this is easy mode. There's no way this is easy mode.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
And while they come over this weekend, I got Nathan Tapman started up on Spider-Man, and he was here until much later than his wife was pleased with, and
I know that's right.
Oh, snap.
called me soon afterwards saying, when can I come over and play again?
That's
No,
hilarious.
that's great.
She's giving him side eye till she fell asleep.
Exactly. So he's, I think he's like 20% through, and so it's just been, it's just been fun watching people experience it for the first time. I've watched all Chris's playthroughs and just having a great time hearing his reactions and thoughts and theories and what have you. So it's just been, again, it's another Spider-Man week for me. It's just been a lot of fun watching him go through that.
I need my wife to go out of town for a little bit. Like just to imagine having the time to platinum a game, have your wife play it, have a friend play it, and watch another friend play it just boggles my mind.
Exactly, right?
I'm like, Lord have mercy. I would love to have that kind of time.
Oh, the life you lead.
It's amazing. I'm not even mad it's so great.
No, I'm mad.
Shouldn't be. Oh,
That's like when I
Tim
see
can be
a
mad.
really good-looking person in the mall, I just feel like clapping. Like, man, congratulations
Yeah,
for you.
that's
That
right.
is great.
You
Props.
hit the lottery.
Yeah.
I know.
Gotta give it
that's
up.
That's why I clap so much around Chris.
Oh, look at that.
I tried out that Forza Horizon 4 demo. We all love a good demo. And
Hey.
it's a good demo. It's a lot of fun. I mean, they let you do a lot. And I could be wrong, but it seemed to be because I went and restarted it again a few hours later, and it looks like every time you start, it starts you from the very beginning. They just
Really?
like save your
yeah?
demo progress. So as far as I could tell, I played it for about an hour or so. There was a ton of stuff they let you do until you stop and start over again. But
That sounds very demo-ish, though, right? Like
Yeah,
they wouldn't
yeah.
necessarily have a save for you. It's like, hey, you're going to start over because it's a demo.
right. I played the Trials Rising demo as well. I'm a huge fan of the Trials series and was not. I wanted to. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was, before the Trials were, here's a series of crazy tracks. They progressively get harder. Choose your track, race it. Good luck. Try not to fall. And now it's kind of a, hey, here's a map of the U.S. Go here and race these 3 other online people. And
Oh, man.
it's like, no, don't turn it into like The Crew or,
Right,
those.
right.
So again, it's a demo. It's not the whole thing. You couldn't play local co-op. You couldn't play local at all. It was only the online stuff. So maybe there is a mode where you can just play crazy tracks.
Okay.
But this
But you
demo
love
didn't have
Trials,
that.
right?
I love Trials. Yeah. So I'm still gonna get it, hoping that there are these other things. But I was a little disappointed, but not too much to deter me from eventually picking it up next year when nobody has money in February.
I know that's right.
Yeah, just add it to the pile. And then finally started Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, buddy.
And-
Yeah, you did.
You know what? The first time I sat down to play, I played for about an hour and a half, and I was like, I don't think I like this very much.
Ooh, really?
Oh,
And I went in a Tomb Raider fan, and a lot of it, and I went back to it, and I'm enjoying it now. I'm having a good time with it. It as I was playing, someone pointed out to me that Square Enix, I don't know the exact terminology, sourced out the game to, how's it pronounced? Eidos? Eidos?
Eidos Montreal.
Eidos Montreal.
I believe the
And-
Montreal studio because I think they have more
Yes.
than one.
It's the Montreal studio, yes. And it feels like a different Tomb Raider to me. I couldn't put my finger on what is different, but it
It's
just
the same
feels...
team that made the Deus Ex games.
Exactly, yeah. The landscape is beautiful. It's a gorgeously rendered surrounding, but Lara is not.
Really?
A lot of times when I'm looking at her as I'm playing, it's like she looks like the Tomb Raider the skins you can get from like the first Tomb Raider or whatever. Her hair's jacked up. Her face looks like she used the blur smooth tool in Instagram way too much.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it's really. I feel like she looked better in the previous games than in this one, and that
You know
was,
what's funny? I saw a commercial for it, and I thought the same thing. I was like, she looks a little low res.
yeah, she really does. And even when I put it into photo mode a couple times, she looks so different from the background. It looks like
Man, you got me
a
wanting to
bad
look this
green
up
screen.
now.
Have you gotten to some of the cutscenes though? Because I felt like they cleaned that up pretty nice.
Yeah, but even in the cutscenes, there are some of them that it just looks like her face has no features. It doesn't look like skin. It just looks like a white cloth almost on
What
her
is the
face.
new one
It
called
just,
again?
what's
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the
Shadow?
Tomb Raider. Ugh.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yes.
I gotta see what you're talking about.
And her hair just looks like
Yeah, I've
PS2
noticed the hair. Yeah.
or PS3 rendered hair. It
Looks
doesn't
like
look,
daggers sticking. It looks
come
like
on.
daggers
Yeah.
sticking
Really
out
that
at
bad?
times.
Like seriously? Like you're not making a joke.
No, like I've had a few people actually while I'm streaming it say, "Why does her hair look so bad?" And I'm like, it looks
very
weird.
It looks very strawy.
Yes, yeah.
Like this
Looks
game,
like
it's
straw.
not like this game was a quick turnaround. Hadn't it been in development a good while?
I feel like it, and it's almost like, I don't know. When I play the game, it looks like visually, it looks like, hey, you guys, let's make this the best looking game we can possibly make. And then like the Thursday before they had to turn the game in, there was like, oh wait,
crap.
Lara Croft is also in this game. We should put her in.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point that I didn't think of before either. The landscapes are gorgeous. The lighting is great. The shading is really nice. But yeah, you do see like the straw of her hair, and it's not as great. As not as great quality. That's a very interesting observation. I did not think about that before.
Yeah, it's been and now since my first gameplay, I have enjoyed it. I'm taking my time. I'm going super slow. I'm exploring everything. But it just even the beginning. Usually, the first two Tomb Raiders of the reboots, you kind of start off with an exciting scene, and then you go to the campfire. They teach you how to craft and what have you. I played for 2 hours before I got the first campfire. And it was it's just a different Tomb Raider. I'm still enjoying it. It's still a lot of fun, but it kind of, that difference threw me off and kind of put me on my heels for a bit. I'm about probably 25 hours playing, but again, a lot of that is wandering around, backtracking to get into tombs I couldn't get into before and what have you.
I hate that. That's the one thing I hate. Because I already experienced that. Like, I don't have the right tool for one of the tombs. I'm like, so you'll have to come back to it. I remember that happening in the other ones, though, too.
Right. And yeah, it's just, it's a fun, it is Tomb Raider. I have been having trouble with some of the climbing mechanics. The square button in particular doesn't always seem to work. And it, especially when she's using it's always actually when she's using her pickaxe to climb. I find it sometimes I've run into a lot of problems where it doesn't respond as quickly as the others. But it sounds like I hate the game. It just started off differently slower than I expected. There is a lot of time spent in one certain village where I'm used to kind of like, you do this map and then you traverse through it, and then you go on to this little section map and you traverse through it, and they're coming back to this same map a lot. It's a South American, kind of an indigenous community village, and a lot of them sure sound like people answered a call saying, yeah, I can do an accent, and then was I can't. So no one in the tribe sounds the same. Some of them sound just like me right now. It's just really weird.
Oh,
Dang it. What the heck?
It's a Horizon Zero Dawn moment.
Yeah, it's just really bizarre. So yeah, I'm still playing it. I last night hit an area that I really struggled with, just as far as trying to shoot and monsters and whatever creatures.
Do you think the camera is really... Did you ever do any adjustments with the camera? Because it is super slowed for me, too. I'm like, all right, I'm panning around. I feel like there's just a little bit of that lag. I'm sure I could probably adjust it, but I just haven't. But
yeah.
I've noticed that with previous Tomb Raiders, too, and I think it's just how Square Enix does it. But it's like, it just seems really like the pan is very slowed down quite a bit.
It's slowed down a bit, unless a lot of times when I jump from one ledge to another, the camera will really quick spin 180 degrees on its own.
Oh, okay.
And so I've definitely, it had like a 6.5 gig patch on the first day.
Yeah.
And it still seems like there were a few things that kind of slipped by them. But
It wasn't a hair patch, is what you're saying.
it was not a hair patch. No, it wasn't.
Or a skin
it was
texture patch.
There was a cutscene that for me was completely out of sync. The audio with the speaking it was completely out of sync. And then I actually went back and replayed the first hour just on my own to be like, okay, let me try this again, see if I can get into it. And after the patch, that was fixed. So that's one thing that they seem to tighten up a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to keep playing it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. But it was a bit of a for a moment there. I'm enjoying it now, but it's just a different feel to it. I can't exactly point out what it is, but yeah, it's just different. And
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's been my week. Overwatch with the gang was fun to get back. I was playing Overwatch this week, and I had these headphones that I use when I play Overwatch, and they were not great. And Jared Orr said, "Well, hey, I've got a pair sitting at home. Let me send you them."
Oh,
And a couple days later, here in the mail, new pair of headphones. To me, a new pair of
Doggone
headphones. So
That's awesome.
thank you, Jared. Man, it was
Nice.
extremely generous of him. So I that was very, very nice of him. So big props to Jared. I know Chris talked him up last week, and now here's another reason why we've got such a great community.
That's right.
Yeah. And
I love that.
that was my week. Good week.
There you go. Chris McCracken,
Yes.
what about you, bruv?
So Stacy is back in town. She's gonna. She
Nice.
came in on. It was kind of crazy. She drove home on Saturday because she was only in Oklahoma. She drove home on Saturday, but then she flew out like at 7 a.m. on Sunday, and then came back Monday night because that trip was just a real short one. The one before, she had been gone like an entire week. But she's gonna be here for about another week and a half, and then she'll be gone for like a 3-week stint.
Wow. Come on over.
So yeah, exactly. So this will be the like little time where she's here and we can kind of get be together and just hang out and do whatever the things we want to do. We're gonna have I think we have a 5K coming up. Maybe it's the weekend after. I don't know. Sometime before she leaves, I believe we have a 5K, unless I'm totally getting my dates wrong, which happens to me a lot. So, but outside of that, then she'll be gone, and then I'll just be me and the pizza boxes for a good while. I'm gonna take pictures. Start a contest with that and see which of one of us can look more pitiful and pathetic.
Right.
Oh, that's
No,
amazing.
You guys both need to have empty cans with a string going in between
Yeah.
them.
Exactly. right.
I'm going to grow my beard, and Chris is going to shave his.
Yeah. The world's gone crazy.
Yeah, everything's
Exactly.
upside down.
Outside of that, I mean, we had a on-location video shoot last week, and it all went pretty much according to plan. So nothing really out of the ordinary necessarily, except that we were not in the office. We were on location. But that all went well. And the other thing that kind of happened is I finally got my car.
Hey!
Finally, the day came where I had run into delays and different things. And look, I'm going to say this. If anybody out there is like either in the process of getting at least a Model 3, I don't know about the other two necessarily, or just considering getting a Tesla of some sort. And granted, the way that Tesla has to operate is different in every state. And in Texas, it's one of the more difficult states for them to operate. All that being said, it is a bear, the whole process. So
That's right.
If you go in, just know, man, there's going to be delays and things are going to be slow. And they are not good. I'm just going to say this outright. They're not good at communication at all. And it doesn't even seem like they're not good at communication with their customers. It seems like they're not good at communication with each other. They seem like they're all siloed and like they only talk to each other when they have to, kind of thing. So communication doesn't seem to flow like freely between the different divisions and departments. Like the contracts team doesn't seem to talk to the delivery team until they have to talk to the delivery team, and vice versa. And then the delivery team can't really reach out to them. They just have to wait till they hear. And there's just all these things that's like, there needs to be some cleanup and some things done a little bit better here. So I had run into a bunch of delays. Like 3 weeks from when I was originally supposed to be taking delivery is when it finally happened. But I picked it up on Friday. It doesn't seem to be any real, like most people, sometimes there's some finish issues or there's this or that or whatever. And most of that stuff's covered under warranty or they'll take care of it. But I've driven it since Friday. Actually, today was the first day I didn't drive because Stacy drove. We had to drive separately today. And I've not really noticed any issues with it, knock on wood. And it's been a blast to drive so far. So
That's great, man.
I'm super, super happy with it. I'm still in the phase of where between me and her every day we're having to take 2 or 3 different people out on a ride because people just want to see what it's all about. And electric cars, even though they're way more prevalent now than you can say they ever have been, they're still not like everywhere. And it's just, if you've never been in one or if you've never driven one, it's it's a difference that's noticeable right away, and on a bunch of different areas. Not just the fact that it makes no sound, but the fact that it has instantaneous torque. The Teslas and most of the other electric cars, but I don't know if they all do this, but Teslas have regenerative braking as well as some of the other ones, which is something that if you've never done that before, it takes a little bit of getting used to. But once you have
That's right.
Like when I went back to my car today because I drove my Honda Civic, it's just so weird to not have that anymore. It's like now it's such a cool feature because it's basically braking without having to brake. And then you just
when you
push
take
the
your
brake.
foot off the gas, under what speed? It's like under 45 or something like that. It automatically brakes or something like that.
Well, on my car, it does it. You know what? I don't know because
It doesn't do it on the freeway, I don't think.
I felt like it did it, but maybe you're right. I only been on the freeway once, and honestly, I don't remember because most of it was I was on cruise control until I had to exit.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you're going like 30 miles an hour, you really feel it when you take your foot off the brake. On the freeway, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's not the same. So basically, if you're coming up to a stoplight or a stop sign, you let off the gas, and it basically starts slowing the car down. It's just the last little couple feet you may need to tap on the brake. So you're basically never using your brakes, or
That's
very
amazing.
rarely, like maybe 10% of the time or something.
Is that
when
weird
you're
to get
just
used
around
to?
town driving?
Yes.
So it's really cool. I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and I'm very happy with my purchase so far.
Good, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it just now we got to figure out, like, are we going to keep Stacy? How long are we going to be keeping Stacy's old car? Because I can see her and myself is like, well, if we don't need to split the car and drive separate, we're gonna drive together. And if like my car's in the better condition of the three or of the two gas cars, so it's like, well, I'm sure it's just gonna come to a point where we're gonna be like, well, maybe we should get rid of it. But at the moment, we like having it as a little safety net in case we both need gas cars for something, or like if it's gonna be really super bad weather. Because here in at least in Texas and a lot of places in the South, in the fall and the spring, you'll have like hail weather and stuff. It's like I don't want to take a chance of driving it when we've got cars that are paid off, and it doesn't really matter if they get a few dings or something. So we'll just have to see. But it's been a lot of fun driving around, and I'm super excited about it. On the gaming front, I did jump into the Blackout beta a little bit more. I was able to play some with Nova Beyond, Arctic Warlocks, and Mark. It's weird. I find myself that I always just say the name that rolls off my tongue easier. So on Mark, I never say his gamertag because I can never remember what it is. So I just say Mark Boucher. But I say Nova Beyond.
It's like music something or other, right?
Yeah, it's Music 98 or Music.
And
I don't know.
numbers,
Sorry, I'm totally butchering your gamertag, Mark. But it's just weird how I'll go back and forth between gamer tags and other names because Stacey can't always keep up. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
It's like speaking Spanglish.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's very much like that. But I had a lot of fun with that. But I don't feel like I'm as enthralled or obsessed with it as so many other people on the internet and even the few that I've played with. Like people seem to really liked the Blackout beta, and I thought it was fine. But I'm just it didn't sell me enough to where I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go get Black Ops because I got to play more of this Blackout.
Okay.
Man, you know what's crazy? I've only seen clips of it. I didn't get to play because I was gone so much during the 2 different beta times. And I feel like it's falling somewhere in between, like you were saying last week, better than PUBG, but not Fortnite for people that don't like Fortnite.
Yes.
And so I would think that it would feel like it would be something where somebody would be like, oh, good, finally a game like this that I can play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like PUBG is a little hefty on the inventory side of things. And if you never really got into H1 or that felt too foreign, you know, it feels like that nice in between for controls that you already know, like almost instinctively for a lot of people because Call of Duty is so popular, you know?
Yeah, I do think that it's better than PUBG. Like I don't see myself, if I were to get it like on Xbox or anywhere, like, I don't see myself going back to PUBG at all. Even though I haven't done it in a long time, and you know supposedly it's a lot better, and you know they have the newer map. I never even played when the new map dropped. I would rather play the Blackout over it, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say like I didn't like it. I don't want to come off as though it was bad in any way. It's just there are some things they need to tweak, and they've already talked about how they're going to keep doing it. Like the way you have to pick up things, you walk over them and you hit square, but you have to look like right down at them. And I feel like you have to hold square way too long. Like you should be able to just run past it, and as you go over it, tap square, and it picks it up and adds it. To me, that's how it should be. It wasn't that way in the beta at all. So that's some little things like that are annoyances. I'm like, well, these things are going to get cleaned up and fixed. I don't believe for a second that this is going to stay the way that it is. So I do think it will will be better in, let's say, 2-3 months after launch. I'm sure it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. But at the moment, I'm not looking at Black Ops 4 and being like, oh, I got to get it because Blackout was the best thing ever. I'm just like, I'm still on the fence about like, well, maybe down the road, maybe I'll grab it. And I can totally see Blackout maybe being a thing that gets broken out on its own. Probably not this year, because that's the other thing. Like, I just can't imagine that they're going to have the 3 different studios that they have making Call of Duties each make their own like battle royale. I don't know. It's weird to me to figure. I don't know how that's going to go. But then again, maybe they will. Who knows? Call of Duty just kind of does whatever the heck they want, and they get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, they're so popular enough. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So we'll just have to see. Outside of that, I've been playing pretty much nothing but Spider-Man. So I've just been trying to get to. I want to finish the game because I'm already like dodging spoilers like crazy. I feel like on the internet. And just YouTube is a freaking minefield. You go in there, I mean, even the stupid, like, just the homepage where it has, like, stuff that's trending or recommended, it's like, I've seen so many, like, little thumbnails and titles that basically spoil stuff. They're not huge plot spoilers, I don't think, but still, it's like, come on, man, I'm playing the game, and I haven't even gotten to that point yet, and here I'm seeing something like, oh, well, I know that's going to be coming kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of
barely a month out, too.
Yeah, it drives me up a wall when I see stuff like that, so... Which is the main reason why I always use the exact same thumbnail for my entire session of my playthrough, because I don't even want to hint at giving somebody a spoiler in it. Because that's a little bit different to everybody. It's kind of, the way that you take it as to whether something is a spoiler, and some people don't think things are a spoiler. It's a little eye of the beholder. I get it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm like, man, I just want to blast through the story, because there early on, I was just doing a ton of the side content because it was hard for me to nail down about an hour's time to go record. So I've been definitely doing my best to carve out some time, and I've gotten in about 4 or 5 hours in the last 2 days, I think. Or 2 or 3 days, maybe, because it was like Sunday, Monday, and then a little bit tonight. So
nice.
I'm hoping that I'm going to be wrapping it up soon. It's kind of hard to gauge because, again, like I said early on, I was doing a lot of side content. So my thing says I'm around 50%, but I'm like, well... But how much of the story is that? Like, I don't know. So I stopped doing the side content for a little bit, and I've been focusing way more on the story. So I feel like I'm a pretty good ways through it, but I don't really know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say this. I don't really know I haven't even asked Ed what he thinks about this. I kind of dig Mr. Negative.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying his whole little arc, and I'm intrigued by, what's his beef and why is he doing the things he's doing exactly. I mean, you get little bits and pieces of like, oh, he's got a problem with this thing or this person or whatever. But I'm like, but why? Like, what's his problem?
Yeah.
And I just kind of dig his story so far. It may like fall off of a cliff here in a little ways once we get to the, final conclusion of whatever his arc is. Mm-hmm. But so far, I'm kind of digging him.
Yeah, they did.
I like to hear that.
They did such a good job at giving everyone backstory and motivation, and I don't know if it's canon or not, and I don't care, but it's great. Yeah. They did a great job with it.
Yeah, I know just enough about Spider-Man to be like, oh, I know who that guy is, or I know where this might go, but then there's a ton of things where it's like, but I probably have every detail about it wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'll be saying something like, oh, the blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, well, maybe. I don't really know. I'm just like throwing things at the wall here, and we'll see what sticks by the time we get to the end of the playthrough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, still really enjoying it. One thing that I will say is I am getting to the point where I do have a little bit of that, oh my gosh, my map's got a whole lot of crap on it kind of anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, because to me, it's like, early on, like the backpack showed up, and then, whatever else it was like the landmarks. And I'm like, there's a lot of them, but then once you start doing it, you're like, oh, but these go pretty quick, and this isn't going to take me forever. But it feels like every hour or so of playing, it's like a new thing and fills up all over my map, and then another thing all over my map. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, can we just stop with the new things? I got enough of the things.
I'm trying to tidy this map up.
Exactly.
Are they pacing you well at all, or is it just like you go to this next thing and then that unlocks out? Like they basically throw it all up there for you.
You talking about like the side and unlockable, or
just
kind of stuff?
In general? Like, do you feel like it's the pace is good, or do you think like they're giving you a bunch of stuff all at once and then you just kind of take it on your own?
No, they're not giving it to... I mean, I feel like it's fine, but yeah, that's kind of what the point that I'm getting at is early on, they unlock like 3 or 4 different like things where you can go and collect these different things around the city. And I started
and they all open up right there on the map?
Yeah, I mean, they don't open up all at once, but like you'll get one, and then you go play a little bit more, and then more things will unlock, and be like, here's a new collectible or side task to go do. but those keep happening. So every time I feel like, okay, well, now I'm getting to the point where when I look at my map, because I've kind of stepped away from the side stuff, trying to focus in on getting the story finished, more stuff keeps unlocking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a little anxiety about like there's too much stuff to do here. Because I want to platinum the game. I'm already pretty sure that that's what's going to happen. But I'm like, oh my gosh, how long is this going to take me? Because, Red Dead Redemption's around the corner, and supposedly that's going to be like 18 million hours probably. And it's like, when am I going to get to this if they keep unlocking
That's not an exact time, by the way. I don't want anybody oopsing us.
It's an estimate. It's an estimate.
Well, actually, it might be. I might have insider information. You don't know. So I'm getting a little bit of anxiety about that. But outside of that, I'm totally enjoying the game.
Nice.
You know, it's funny. I thought I was going to have that a little bit. And what I've been doing is like, if there's a main quest in a quadrant, then I just do all the things in that quadrant.
Yeah.
And then kind of move on. And it's helped because I'm the same way. I text Ed the other day. I was like, I got to the first thing I don't want to do. Like, you know what I mean? But then I was like, I'll just take it as I get to that quadrant. And so I don't know how many things are going to unlock because like you, I'm like, well, I'm probably a little behind you. So I'm probably 46-ish %. I've not met Mr. Negative yet. And so, but I've just been doing all the little things that unlock and haven't been too bad. One of them I really didn't want to do, but I pushed through and I did it, and they weren't as bad as I thought they would be. They weren't as long as I was like, oh crap, this is gonna take forever.
All right, well, you have to tell me after the show which one that is, because I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah. I will say one last thing that I'll say about Spider-Man real quick. There's extra suits that are in the game. I feel like everybody already kind of knows that, but I don't really like most of them. There's like
I haven't changed outfits yet.
There's like two or three that I'm like, these are kind of cool, and then the rest of them are just kind of like, eh. Look, I'm just talking on the cosmetics, like the way they look.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I wasn't as into them as a lot of Spider-Man fans were. You know? I was just like, I'm fine with this one they gave me. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like
the one they made me change into. Did you beat the game on the first, the one they make you change into, Ed?
I switched.
You ended up changing.
I switched to one later in the game, and then it looked ridiculous during the cutscene, so I switched back to that one for the rest of the game.
I actually did that tonight too when I was recording. I switched to one suit, and then I got this cutscene that was kind of like intense or like kind of had some sentimental value to it. I was like, I feel like I look like an idiot wearing that suit in these kind of cutscenes. So I went back.
That's great.
I was like, even though I really dig that suit, it just doesn't feel right for this.
You're like, I like swinging around in just my undies, but it just seems like not the time for that.
Exactly. But that's it for me, guys. Awesome.
Tim Router.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Piper's
How are you?
Good. Piper's topic of the week. It's been a pretty chill week for us. The Amazing World of Gumball. She has discovered that on Cartoon Network, and we have been watching episode by episode.
I thought you were talking about like gumball racing, like
no. It's a show on Cartoon. It's a show on Cartoon Network, and it's actually really, really funny. But she's just latched onto that, and it's funny because earlier today I was like, Piper, what do you want your topic of the week to be? And she's like, I have no idea. We've been so boring. This is the same old for the past week or so. Just school and soccer and ballet and so we haven't really done a whole heck of a lot. I got new brake pads this past week on my truck, so that was fun.
That's super fun.
Isn't that great? Very exciting. So that's what the routers are cooking right now for this past week. Not a whole lot has been going on, but we have been having fun watching The Amazing World of Gumball, and she can watch it on her iPad, or we'll kind of just snuggle in bed. Like this weekend we did for a little bit in the morning and watch some of it, and it is really funny actually. So and they've got like 6 or 7 seasons too, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's too many.
Yeah, right. Don't worry, we'll crack through it because how riveting our life is. But yeah, so just a lot of doing that kind of stuff and, just hanging out.
Just parenting. Regular parenting. Yeah,
just doing the old parenting thing, which is great. I'll take kind of routine and kind of boring for now. I don't necessarily need anything too exciting. So that's
You got to be working yourself on a vacation here soon, right?
Yeah. We got Hawaii coming up, and Lauren and I are heading down to Barnsley Gardens for a little bit right before that, just so that she and I can get away. And
good.
So that'll be good. So I'm trying to get a bunch of work done beforehand and kind of plan ahead as much as I can for that.
Nice.
I'll jump right into it. On the gaming front, I finished South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
Oh, you did? You finished it?
I did finish it.
There you go.
I mean,
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Not feeling that one as much.
I loved the first half of it, and then it took a very weird turn. Hilarious, yet weird, but still kind of funny. But it's South Park, and it's like, yeah, okay, this makes total sense. But I'm comparing it to the Stick of Truth, and I felt like the Stick of Truth was pretty consistent the whole way from start to finish in its theme and just kind of where they were going with it. And I liked the kind of they had their own fantasy characters, and they played that throughout. And then this one, you start off with as the superheroes, but then it just takes this really odd turn, and you're like, "What in the Sam Hay is going on here?" But
that is funny.
But you also know that it is South Park, so you're like, "Okay, this kind of
forgive it."
Yeah, you kind of forgive it. But at the end, I'm like, yeah, all right. I guess that's how we're stopping that bad bear on with Tomb Raider. So that's. So
wait, did it end like it didn't wrap back around like you wanted it to? Is that kind of what you're saying?
No, it's just like the final boss battles were just weird. Just I don't know how to describe it. It's just really messed up, and you're like, okay, cool. I guess this is what we're doing next. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's funny. Like, I still love it. I mean, and I do love South Park games. I think I like Stick of Truth better though, just because of more of like a consistency throughout. I do love the combat in this one better. I loved how much they cleaned it up. I barely died in any of our combats because, I was able to level up when I needed to. And the allies that I had, they had decent powers, and you have a lot of flexibility to pick and choose which allies you want to use when you fight. And so I felt like the combat was actually fairly easy for me, but I was also one of those where I'd go in everywhere and hunt down every little thing I could find, and then you craft it, and you get things as you go along in the game. So I felt pretty good on that. It was just the story just got super weird, super
I can't wait.
weird.
We have to talk about some things after the podcast because I want to hear about all of that.
I think you're going to be more like, okay, more than anything else. And Ed, you can back me up on this because you played it too.
Just hearing Ed laugh, I know that it had to be something crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous, but yeah, it's good. I think overall, I mean, I say if you played the Stick of Truth, definitely play it. When you get to this part, you'll understand why I'm kind of like about it. But but it's still really good. And
I love that so much.
Yeah, right. So it was just kind of by the time I was done, I'm like, yeah, okay. That's sure. Yep. Okay. Done.
And out of the PlayStation and in goes Tomb Raider. Yeah.
And done. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So
not Game of the Year and not in contention for Game of the Year.
No, not Game of the Year. Definitely not Game of the Year. But there were some definitely great bits that I laughed out loud on. There are some really hilarious moments, and you're just like, this is great. And then there's sometimes you're like, this is really weird, but that's fine. So it was good. I am enjoying Tomb Raider, Ed, I must say. And now that you mentioned some of this stuff, though, now I'm kind of looking for it because I did. No, it's fine.
Exactly
because there was something. You are right. There is something when you start playing this game, you're like, this feels different. And I've played them all before, and I take my time as well. Like, I'm going around everywhere and just using your heightened sense to find all the highlighted items and trying to get as much as possible. I feel like the pace is okay. I don't think to me, it's like, I feel like I haven't played Rise of the Tomb Raider in a while, and now I'm into this, and boom, everything all kind of came back. I'm like, all right, this is
really good.
This is the Tomb Raider that I'm kind of used to. And honestly, for me, if you like Uncharted, you'll like the Tomb Raider. I don't think it's as the quality as Uncharted, but it's a very great substitute, and I think anybody would enjoy that if they loved Uncharted as well. She still gets her butt kicked all the time. I feel bad for this poor girl because she just gets wailed on by anything and everything. But I'm not that far in, but I am really enjoying it. It was the hair. The hair is the first thing that I saw. I'm like, that kind of looks like straw. That should be a little bit more fluid, and that should be a little bit. The backgrounds and the scenery is fantastic, but maybe I think you're right. I think they were just like, oh shoot, yeah, we have Lara Croft to animate too. All right, well let's
Oh my god,
throw out the old bit. It's
what
not,
a thing to remember.
Well, it's not. Yeah, right. It's not like, for me, it's not terrible because where I am now, she's in the jungle and she's just got mud on her face. She's just a hot mess right now, and so I'm kind of like, maybe that's what they're going for, but the hair is still kind of throwing me off. But I'm not fixated on it too much. You just notice it and then you move on. Now,
yeah.
Like on the cutscenes, some of the cutscenes, I felt like the animation was a lot tighter. And again, I haven't gotten as far as you, and so this village is going to be very interesting when I get there, just to see kind of the voiceover. But I will forgive that a little bit because Horizon Zero Dawn had some horrible voiceover as well in some of those places, and that was one of my favorite games too. So I'm very forgiving when it comes to these kind of games, but at the same time, it's like, it is Tomb Raider. You should probably have the right kind of people doing the right voiceovers for everything. Right. That would probably help. We don't need some Russian playing an Incan or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
they just have Hank Azaria doing everybody.
Exactly.
Jeez.
We got to put a book out. We're like, the problem with everybody in Tomb Raider.
Right.
I think the main characters of Laura, and there's a few others, I think they're solid. Laura is fantastic. Her voice is great.
Can you guys tell, or do you, maybe Ed, because you seem to know who voiceovers everybody? Is it the same girl voicing Laura that was in the other two?
Yes.
Lara?
It's got to be.
Yeah, it is. It is. And so that's very consistent. But that's interesting, Ed, that you said that, because yes, there is something a little bit different, and you may not be able to pinpoint it right away, but I think probably as I'll progress, I'll probably see a little bit. But it's still great. I'm still having a good time with it. So that's what I'm hunkering.
Is it like when somebody just slightly has a cross eye and you're like, I think I'm looking at the right eye, but I'm not exactly sure.
Well, maybe not a cross eye, maybe a lazy eye. So you're like, are you looking up or are you looking to the left? What are you doing? It's not as severe, but you'll notice it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I don't know if you're still getting this, Tim, but I'm like 25 hours into the game, and I'm still getting, hey, when you're push X to jump here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know.
I feel like a lot of games have been doing that lately, though.
Yeah.
Like they just tell you the whole way through. Like I feel like Spider-Man's still like, hey, remember triangle and circle.
Well,
that's
and
right.
honestly, Uncharted does that too. Whenever you pick up something, it's triangle and all that stuff. So I'm kind of used to that. I did notice there was an audio slip up as well, and I restarted to the point where I was like, yeah, maybe I should restart or something. And I thought I had the patch all done and everything, but maybe that helped kick it up. But yeah, there's like maybe one or two little slip ups when you're using that pickaxe that I've noticed, but nothing too crazy. But
I think I noticed the tutorials more in this because the writing is so big, it's like part of the scenery. And so it's super obvious rather than a little thing at the bottom.
The only other mildly annoying
if
thing...
you'd like to share a photo, press the share button.
Right.
Exactly.
Lem's over there like, I've done it 3,800 times.
We know.
Exactly.
The only other thing I'll say, too, is when you're... like if you're at a temple or there's something like some sort of a puzzle or even a mini puzzle and you have to try and figure out, what I do is I kind of like walk around and just kind of survey everything. And she tends to repeat the same thing over and over again. And you're just like, yeah. I know that the bucket is losing water. I got to figure out how to do this, that, and the other. But she kind of says it over and over again.
Every time you push the button to highlight collectibles. And She's like, I need to get over there and to the door. It's like,
exactly.
I know.
Exactly. We get it. I'm just looking
what
around.
I'm trying to do.
I'm looking around for other stuff.
Exactly. So that was the only other thing
That's right.
going on.
I wonder if that door opens.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, we know that door
it.
opens. I'm just looking around just to see because I don't want to miss anything.
I wonder if that door opens.
Exactly. That's exactly
That
it,
door
brother.
over there. Think it opens?
That door. Yep. Exactly. So anyway, I'm excited for this. Where I'm gonna keep going through Tomb Raider, and then we've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey pre-ordered, so that'll be here in.
I wonder if that
3
door
weeks?
opens.
That'll be there in 3 weeks. And
You know what? I was playing the game, and there's a voice actor, and I was like, I know her voice. I could see the woman who does the voice, and I couldn't pinpoint who it was. And I was like, I know that person. Ladies and gentlemen, Job's girlfriend from Arrested Development. That's right.
No way.
No
the Mexican
way.
soap star is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That is
You're so
amazing.
good at that. Ed's always like, hey, recognize
Yeah, he's
Jameson's
good.
voice? I'm like,
Yep.
Nope. He's like, it's such and such. I'm like,
Exactly.
dang it. I would have never figured that out.
Yeah. I've made a huge mistake. So I've got, I'm looking, I mean, it's fall, baby. I love fall release time. It's a good
Yes.
time. I've got Tomb Raider for me. I've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey coming. And so that's going to keep me busy for a while. And then I will probably hit up Spider-Man when it goes on sale. And so, man, life is good. It's going to be a great fall, and I'm looking forward to it. That and Clash Royale. And Mr. Patillo, hit us up with what's going on with your week.
I've just been wondering if that door opens or not.
Yeah, right. Hey, you should probably go and check out that door.
Gosh, I wonder if it opens. I just check over here for some trinkets. Man, that door is just, gosh, I can't get it out of my brain.
What's that creaking? Is it that door?
Yeah,
Can I go through it?
Exactly. Oh, the wind blew that door open. I guess they want me to walk through that door.
I need to clear that brush so I can open that door.
Exactly.
Gosh, nothing's really been going on, to tell you the truth. I was in Shippensburg, PA, and Sandusky, Ohio, at
Nice. Cedar Point.
at Cedar Point this last weekend. So I got to hang out with the Lighties. That was great.
Oh, sweet.
On their boat, me and Matt had an old cigar and
I saw
some
that.
fellowship. Oh man,
Beautiful.
that was nice. That was like the highlight of the weekend. If I was going to be
very nice.
Oh, that's
for
great.
real
There you go.
about it. Hanging out with him and Aaron, got to. It was like it was just chill. It was nice. There wasn't too much going on, and so like I think so it was one of those things where he picked me up at 3. I had to be back at 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And
so what are you going to do?
So we had it's 3 hours to just hang out, smoke a cigar, and like we both looked down at the clock thinking like, okay, it's probably around 4:30, and it was 5:30 already. I was like, oh snap, I gotta go.
Oh, man.
And so it was just, time flies when you're having fun. So
Yep.
Yeah.
it was great hanging out with him and Aaron. And man, that's pretty much it, man. We had a fill-in on stage for the girl. The girl that usually sings with us got married this last weekend, so we had a fill-in. She killed it. She came in prepared and ready to do her thing. And we're just on that old honeydew list here at the house, man. We are revamping our laundry room.
Nice.
It's off the kitchen, so we pulled all the floor up, pulled all the baseboards up, took down like the wire, shelving that they usually put in laundry rooms. And so we're stacking our laundry, our front loaders, and making it half a pantry. And so that's fun.
Question mark?
Yeah.
Wait, you
And
said we're doing it? Is it a we?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Jenny's doing it
Nice.
too. She's, because she's the patch. She's going to be the patch and paint girl.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm doing the
You're the
floors.
demo
We're just
boy.
So today was demo day. So
Very
we
nice.
got all the washer and dryer out of there today, which was very heavy.
I believe that.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's just lifing over here, man, and kids.
Yeah.
Right there with you, man.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it was Amara's birthday today. She is funny because the anticipation of things almost gets her more excited than the actual things.
Yeah.
And so this whole week, she's like, oh my gosh, it's 2 days till my birthday. Oh, my birthday's tomorrow. And then like she woke up this morning, we're like, all right, Boots, well, you got some presents going on. If you want to open, no, I'll wait. I'll open them after school. And so it's just like the excitement of
That's
what's
so
to
cute.
come.
Yeah, it's the
kinda-
anticipation of it.
Yeah,
I love it.
keeps her afloat. So, and been in here playing a little Spider-Man, not as much as I'd like just because of the honeydew list, but all right, that's it.
You haven't been hanging out with Stephen Baldwin or Bieber this week?
Yeah, no famous people this last weekend, just Matt Lighty.
He's
Matt, the
famous
IT
enough.
guy, Lighty.
The IT guy.
Exactly.
I would choose Matt Lighty over Bieber or Baldwin any day.
There you go.
Well, for the story, I'll take them last weekend.
Aw.
Yeah, okay.
But it was good to see that Matt. I would definitely take Matt from here on out. But if you would have said, hey,
For a true hang, go with
Yeah.
Lighty. For a quick quick what just happened. Right. Yeah, for a quick what just happened, go with Baldwin and Bieber.
I'll go with a Baldwin and a Bieber just for one weekend.
That sounds like you're ordering drinks. Give me a Baldwin and a Bieber.
Hey, Mac, give me a Baldwin and a Bieber. Stat, please.
Exactly. Can I get almond milk in that, though, please?
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, that's been about it. We got Toby's new album this last week, so I got to sample it a little bit. I obviously heard a bunch off of it, and I'm singing on some of it and stuff like that. So it's cool to hear his work finally done and see the packaging, which they used like 3 of the Dune shots when we went out to the Dune. So that was cool to be a part of that. They did a little like preview of or a little like trailer kind of thing for his Instagram, and that was all from the Dunes. So that was kind of cool to see them use that footage.
Do you have what's the release date, or can you not say?
I think I can say now. Ooh, can I say now?
Ooh, well, don't worry about it.
I think I can say now. It's October 12th.
Oh, okay.
We weren't
and you're fired.
Yeah, exactly. We weren't able to say last week because of like somebody else was supposed to announce it. I think it was like Billboard was going to announce it. And so I think that's been announced.
That seems great. Like, I can't believe that it's less than a month away and it still like wasn't announced.
It's because it's Toby Mac.
Oh.
Because it wasn't turned in. So they were like, didn't know if they were going to have to push it or not.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. This is the latest he's turned something in to have the release date be less than a month away.
Right.
But, the poor marketing team is probably pulling their hair out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we don't even have the pictures yet.
Yeah, right. But you know what? They can recover that very quickly because it is Toby. So
yeah, and nobody cares. Like in the sense of like, we're not in a CD buying environment anymore. Exactly. And so the packaging is like not as important as it was 5 years ago.
He can post a cover on Instagram and instantly he'll have 1 million views and boom.
Exactly.
You're good to go. So the word can definitely get out very easily with one post.
Yes. I did go see Drake last night at Bridgestone.
Oh, that's right. He was here, wasn't he?
Yes. So that was kind of fun just to go and enjoy somebody else's show.
Sure.
And it wasn't as foul as I thought it would be. I kind of went in like with one ear plugged, like, oh man, this is gonna be foul. Right. And then it wasn't as foul as I thought. I was like, I thought he put on a nice show. I didn't know a lot of the songs, but the crowd did. And,
did anybody open
that
for
was
him?
Awesome. Yeah, but I skipped them.
Oh, good. There you go.
Yeah, Migos opened up, and
okay, yeah.
I was like, that's fine. They came out in the middle of his show and did like three songs. So
you can be bad and bougie
I felt
later.
like I saw him. Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's fine.
They were like, we know half y'all weren't here in the beginning. You will hear us.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, can we do 4 songs for you? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yep.
Like I showed up so late, there was people in my seats. Like, nice. That's us right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They were like, dang it.
I love that feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 4 and 5, player. 4 and 5. So yeah, that's it. Spider-Man, loving it.
Good.
Sweet.
Yeah, want to get it done before. I don't remember what I'm looking. Kingdom Hearts is the next big one for me that I'm looking forward to.
When is that?
When's that come
fall.
out?
Yeah,
I think December.
Oh, okay.
Something.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. I think. Ooh, I'm probably wrong about that.
So is it only it's only me and Ed doing the whole Red Dead 2 whatever?
I'll probably hop on it late.
I got you.
I won't.
January 25th.
Oh, you got even more time then. You're fine.
Yeah, you'll be great.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get Red Dead right away. I need to save my money for February because that month is going to be crazy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Unless a bunch of things get scooched back. Anyway,
which you know they will.
I know.
Something's going to move. There's no way that many games could come out that day.
Yeah, that's a lot of games in one month.
Or that month even. There's no way.
The shortest month of the year. Yeah, let's pack it all in.
Exactly. Pack it all in the 22nd. Mm-hmm. So Gabe has something to talk about.
Yep.
Happy Black History Month. Here's 9 games in one day.
Can't wait.
All right. Router, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do it!
All right, new releases this week. Get your fishing poles ready. We got Fishing Sim World for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Oh, my gosh.
We have Hover for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Transference for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, PSVR, Rift, and Vive.
That's Homeboy, right?
That's Homeboy. Yep.
Elijah.
What's his name? Elijah
Wood. That's out September 18th. For the PS4, Warface. For the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle. That's coming out on the 18th. Blind for the PSVR, Rift, and Vive. RGX Showdown for the PS4, Xbox One. Speed Brawl, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Siegecraft Commander for the Switch. Little Dragons Cafe for the PS4 and Switch. Light Fingers for the Switch. The Gardens Between for the PC, PS4, and Switch. Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse for the Switch. 8-Bit Armies for the PS4, Xbox One. My Brother Rabbit for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country Standalone for the Switch. I feel like Xenoblade always has something going on every week.
What is the deal with that?
I'm constantly saying Xenoblade doing something.
It's a standalone, though, eh?
It's a standalone for the Switch. So, yeah.
There you go.
September 21st. There you have it.
So I guess it's like a little addition to the story, but maybe like a Left Behind kind of situation, maybe?
Sure.
You know how that was
First Light.
standalone or First Light? Yeah.
First Light. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, that's perfect. We did have an oops. Our boy, the Frozen Gamer, hooked us up with 2 oops. Horizon Zero Dawn does not require perfect scores in the hunting challenges just to complete them within a certain time. If one is too challenging, don't forget that difficulty can be adjusted in game at any time. If I can do it, Ed, you can do it.
I'm not a baby. I don't change the difficulty.
I just don't do it.
If the game beats me, the game beats me. I don't have any problem with that. But I'm not a baby.
I'm not a baby. You're the only guy out here that rage quits on a regular basis.
Little baby.
He's like,
On a regular basis. I rage quit like 3 games.
Regular definitely throw a tantrum.
So awesome.
I think it feels regular just because nobody else says that.
That's right.
We all do it. Nobody says it.
Nobody says it.
That's like when we're playing Overwatch and we were against a really good team and they just destroy us. I'm always the one that's like, I hope we play them again because I want to try to get them. You know?
Yeah, that's the way you get better.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm not a baby.
Good. And then he also said Splatoon 2 can have stats modified in saves, and Pokemon saves can be exploited to get duplicate Pokemon. There still needs to be a better solution, but that's Nintendo Japan for you.
That's true. Them jokers are tripping.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have MPD for August. U.S. only. Yeah. Let's do it. August 2018 spending across video game hardware, software, and accessories and game cards grew 26% when compared to a year ago. $214 million for hardware, up 28% from $168 million. PC and console software, $330 million, up 16% from $285. And accessories, $251 million, up 39% from $181 million. Top 10 games for August. Get ready. Strap in. Here we go. Number 10, Super Mario Odyssey. Number 9, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Whoa.
Number 8, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Number 7, God of War. Number 6, Naruto Mabaruto Shinobi Striker. Number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Still, wow. Look at that.
Number 4, GTA 5.
No way.
Number 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Number 2, Monster Hunter World. And number 1, Madden NFL 19. Here we go. Since 2000, the year 2000, in the year 2000, Madden NFL football has been the best-selling game of August every year, with the exception of 2011 and 2012 when Madden NFL launched in the September tracking period. Monster Hunter World, which debuted earlier this year, has jumped all the way back up to number 2 due to the PC port. It launched August 9th, and it is having unprecedented success on Steam. Also, Rainbow Six Siege is releasing the Grim Sky season September 4th, but they're noticing that new players are treating that as a jumping point, so they're going back to playing Rainbow Six Siege before this happens. Before that happens.
Interesting.
Hence why Rainbow Six Siege is number 3 this past month. So very interesting stuff happening. I'm very curious how September is. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man will be number 1. But we shall see. But yeah, I felt August just seemed kind of weird. It kind of crept up. There were some older games that came back up, and that's pretty cool to see. Nice to see that we had a nice increase as opposed to last year. Video games ain't going away, baby, and hardware's still around.
I know, that's right.
So we're doing just fine.
Man, it's so crazy that Mario and Zelda are hanging in there.
Mario and Super Mario
right?
Odyssey and Zelda, yeah, man, they're doing great.
Because at one point it felt like everybody who owned a Switch had Zelda already.
Right,
Remember, it was like
right.
Zelda had sold like almost the exact same amount as the Switch had sold.
The correlation was right with the Switch. Yeah,
Yeah, that's nuts.
yeah,
man.
man, it's
Jeez
crazy.
Louise.
All of this is going to change this fall anyway, with all the heavy hitters coming out with new stuff. So we're going to see a lot of bump downs, I'm sure. But it's nice to see. I think the summer months are kind of those chill months when people are like, all right, well, what can I either backlog or, hey, there's something coming out this fall, but I want to go back and redo that. And that the Rainbow Six Siege makes perfect sense. If they're coming out with something new, it's like, hey, why not get back into it now and kind of get ready for September 4th, which has already happened. So
I just wonder, what do you and Grand Theft Auto just on PlayStation and Xbox, huh? Just still selling,
just still doing its thing, yeah.
And I feel like they just announced recently like a new and now we've got this mode in Grand Theft Auto Online or something.
Yeah,
so.
I think GTA Online is probably the cause of
selling
it's probably
definitely,
the driver
definitely.
for a lot of this anyway. So because they're always coming out with new things for online as well. So it's just huge. Just corrupting 15-year-old boys' minds since 2015. There you go.
I know, that's right.
So
I wish that we knew where Fortnite, because it's free, we don't get those numbers, but like I wonder where that lands in all this, just because of how crazy popular it's been.
I mean, and my niece was over and she was playing Fortnite, and I was like, I don't know how to play it, so you're on your own. But like nobody had the default skins, and those, unless you grind for a long time, those cost money, and
they're not easy to come by.
Yeah, and nobody had the original skin except my niece, and so I mean, yeah, they're making a ton of money, but
sure,
it's interesting to see how much it would be interesting to see how much it is.
Yeah, and where they fall on the charts,
Well, anyway, that is it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
Chris McCracken.
So early, I think it was early this morning, PlayStation decided that they too want to get on this whole little miniature retro console game, and they announced the PlayStation Classic. So it's a miniature version of the PlayStation 1. It's going to be coming with 20 games when it launches. Now, at the time of them announcing it, they're only listing 5 of the games that are going to be on there.
That's right.
And so far, the games that they have announced that are going to be part of it are Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, R4, Ridge Racer, Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms.
I cannot believe Jumping Flash is on there.
I don't
Never
remember
heard
what
of
Jumping Flash
whatever it
is,
is.
to be honest.
I feel like that was like a launch game. I'm probably wrong about that, but I feel like that was out so early. Like that's just crazy. I didn't even know it was popular enough to put on there.
Maybe that's why they're putting it on there. Is like if it was a launch game, maybe that's why they're doing it. Just because.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be priced, so some differentiators. Well, do you guys remember off the top of your head how many games were on the NES Classic or SNES Classic? Were they around 20 or more than that? I feel like one of them was like 30, right? Something like that.
I don't remember.
I feel like it was more, but I don't know.
Okay, well,
it definitely was more than 20.
Well, so the PlayStation Classic, again, it's going to have 20 games when it launches. We don't yet know what the other games are besides these first 5 that they have announced. I'm assuming that the reason that they're not announcing the rest is because they're still probably working on locking up all the licensing deals for whichever games they are trying to get. But so this whole thing's a little bit weird because I get announcing it, and I know they want to they're releasing it on December 3rd, which is the anniversary of the PS1 debut in Japan. So I kind of understand why they're trying to hit that date. But
which is soon.
Yeah, it's relatively soon. But it feels like they just don't have everything in a row because it seems weird to me that you can't tell us what the rest of the games are. And it also it's going to be selling for $100, whereas the NES and SNES they were $60. One thing that is
one was $60, one was a little bit more, right? I thought one was.
Was
I
it?
thought
Was
they were
like,
different
but
prices.
neither one of them was 100. I know they were both under 100.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this one's going to be $99.99. It does come.
SNES Classic was $80.
Okay. There you go. So this one is going to come with 2 controllers, which the SNES Classic also came with 2 controllers. I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to have these T90 cords because that's what the SNES and the NES had. So
Why are they not doing Bluetooth on these things?
I don't know. I mean,
Like, I have no idea why they're not doing Bluetooth controllers.
Yeah.
Why wired? Why? I don't even understand why.
I mean, I'm assuming it's because so that they can put as little money into like all the pieces that have to go into these as possible. Like the whole fact, like the PlayStation when it originally launched, and I know because you can see them out there, but also I had one of these. Is when it first launched, it had the controller did not have analog sticks or any kind of rumble inside of them. Later on, I don't remember how long after it launched, but a little while after that, they introduced the DualShock, which is what introduced, the rumble for the PlayStation side, the rumble and the analog sticks. So this is coming with a replica in the same size and everything as the original PlayStation controller. So no analog sticks and no rumble. I'm sure that they went that route because it's cheaper to make that controller than it is to make ones that have rumble and the other ones. So I'm sure it's the same kind of thing where they're not putting Bluetooth inside the system and inside the controllers because I'm sure there's added cost into that. And I'm sure to get the price down as low as they can and still make, whatever money their margins are trying to get off of it, I'm sure that's why they're not doing that. It's got to be just all because of margins and numbers. Same way on the NES stuff too. And I'm sure there's some case to be made. There's like, oh, we're trying to stay as close to what it actually was, just a miniature version as possible. But I feel like it's much more the money side than it is that. Wanting to be true to what the system was or whatever.
And to be clear, on the SNES came with 21 preloaded games. The NES came with 30 preloaded games.
Oh, really? I thought it was reversed. I thought it was the other way. But interesting. Okay, cool.
NES 30, SNES 21.
So here's what I'm going to say. I went ahead and pre-ordered one. I don't think that even if, look, I know that this is not going to be nearly as popular as like the NES and the SNES Classic were because, it's Nintendo. That's the way that it goes. But I also think even if it was as popular, I just have faith that Sony's not going to have the supply chain constraints as much as they had. So I wasn't really concerned about it not being on sale really, but I just went ahead and put a pre-order in just in case because you never really know. And I haven't seen anything written about like, oh, this is going to be for a limited time only. So as far as I can tell, it's just going to be going for, until while people are still buying them, they'll keep making them. But I really it's going to break my heart completely if Metal Gear Solid does not get put on this. And I understand it's a much more difficult proposition for Sony than it is Nintendo because at least on those first 2 that were released, the vast majority of those games were either Nintendo produced or published games, so they probably own the rights to the vast majority of those games, especially on the NES.
Right.
The Sony console, most of those games, if not all of them, were done by third-party license.
Else.
Yes. And I understand licensing things and all that. It's a murky situation, so I know that there's a challenge with that. And Konami is, they got their own issues. So I'm sure they're not going to make it easy necessarily either. But it's just going to break my heart if Metal Gear Solid is not on there. Now, we already are not going to have analog sticks or rumble. So that kind of takes away from the Metal Gear Solid being on there. That's one kind of hint that says that maybe it won't be on there. But I am almost 100% certain that the game supported just the regular analog controller as well. Because I know when I bought mine, that's what I had for the longest time. I couldn't get the DualShock when it first came out. I had to get it way later down the road. And I'm almost
I don't remember
certain,
ever having a DualShock for the PS1.
Yeah, they had it for the PS1. It was there before.
No, I'm saying I don't remember ever having it. Like, I don't know if I knew.
Yeah.
I think I bought like a third party later on that had the analog and the rumble, but I don't remember ever playing PS1 with rumble.
I know that I played MGS with it eventually because I remember the scene where, Psycho Mantis is reading your mind and he says, and you can put down your controller and the controller will vibrate and move around. It's part of him using his mind powers. Clearly that can't be done on the regular controller because it doesn't have rumble at all. But I'm almost certain that it supported that controller and you could play it. So I am just holding out hope that Metal Gear Solid is on there. On top of that, there's tons of other really good games that I feel like could be on there. Tony Hawk was on there.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I think you could easily, even though there is a Ridge Racer on there already and 20 games is not that much, I think you could easily make a case for one of the Gran Turismos, maybe Gran Turismo 2. You can make a case for Twisted Metal or definitely Twisted Metal 2. if I can just get a couple of those games, it's totally worth it to me. Because like my NES Classic, really the only game on there that I cared at all about was Punch-Out, and I got it for that. And then the SNES, there's 1 or 2 games that I wanted, but none of these have been like, oh, I love this whole library. I just don't really care. I just need a couple good games, and if Metal Gear Solid's on there, it's done. It's a done deal. I would get it no matter what. I'm just a little nervous that it's not going to end up showing up on there.
I kind of wanted, I'm with you on Twisted Metal for sure.
Yes.
And then obviously for you, I'd like Metal Gear on there.
Oh, yeah. For you, I definitely would love
even
to
though
see
I
that.
did play the first 2 Metal. Which one was the one where they made you plug the controller in the second port?
That was Metal Gear Solid, the original. That was
the
on
first
NES.
one?
Or
Yeah.
that was on PS1. Excuse me.
So I definitely played that game. I would really love if Siphon Filter was on there.
Yeah.
Do you remember Siphon Filter? Oh, man. I loved that game. Ed, do you have any games that you can think of in PS1 era that you'd want on there?
I don't even know what's on the. I wasn't. I jumped on at PS2, so I have no idea what's even there.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm glad Final Fantasy's on there, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't replay it. But
And I don't remember, I don't have the exact quote here in front of me, but they said they're kind of touting it as something as like, 20 of the legendary PlayStation games or something like that. It's like you cannot use language like that and not have
it
Metal
on there,
Gear
yeah.
Solid on there, because whether you love it or hate it, like it was a big game on that franchise, on that system. Like one of the defining games for that system is Metal Gear Solid. So if it doesn't get on there, it's going to be a travesty to me.
What's the game that Nathan Drake played in Uncharted 4 with his
Crash
with his wife?
Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, that's got to be on there.
There's Resident Evil. There's Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I just
Tomb
wonder if they're
Raider.
going to put stuff on there that's they've re-released and stuff already. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Resident Evil would feel like a little. Same with Final Fantasy VII. When they said that was on there, I was like, I mean, you can kind of get that everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so I don't know. That's weird. So we'll see. I will see what's on there. That'll be interesting. But speaking of Final Fantasy, if I might, 2 little points of news about that game. A speedrunner just broke like a huge record. I think it was just this last week of 100%ing Final Fantasy VII in 20 hours and 42 minutes. And if anybody knows anything about a JRPG, I'd like to see you just beat it on regular in 20 hours and 42 minutes. So there's been a lot of discussion about, in the speedrunning community, not just regular, about what 100% really means, because there's so much you can do in it. It's like, do you have to talk to everybody? Do you have to, set off all these different things? So for this guy who goes by Caleb Hart 42 on Twitch, his 100% included learning all the limit breaks, getting all the characters, having one of every item, including regular items, armor pieces, weapons, accessories, and key items, completing every side quest, getting one of every materia, and mastering all 4 enemy skill materias, and beating all the bosses. Y'all, that's crazy.
And I'm assuming, maybe this is silly to ask this, but I'm assuming this is all in real time, not because isn't there like sped up modes where you can do that?
There is.
Like 2 times
I
speed
tried
or 10 times
watching
speed or
it.
something?
Right. And I'm kind of guessing the same thing. I didn't get to watch as much of this as I wanted to watch. So I'm not sure if it's in sped up mode or not. I have seen it in sped up mode before, and that feels like cheating a little bit.
Right.
But maybe in the speedrunning, I don't know how this works. But I know that I think if you beat the game, when you went back and played it, you could play it sped up. So I wonder if that's kind of how they get around the rules, because the game is sped up already.
Oh, right.
I don't really remember. But anyway, that would easily take a regular person, I mean, like 300 hours to do.
That's crazy.
Every side quest? Oh, my gosh. Yeah, right. Also, on the Final Fantasy side, Microsoft and Nintendo actually announced side by side that there's this, I don't know if it's going to be a bundle or what, but they're calling it Discover the Legacy of Final Fantasy, and they're releasing, let's see, it looks like, shoot, man, it's a lot of games. Final Fantasy, let's see, that's 12, the Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2, World of Final Fantasy Maxima, and the Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. It's called Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. Everybody, I don't even know what that is, but it's coming. It's
Everything cool.
Everything
exactly.
cool.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. So they're releasing this on the Switch and the Xbox One, and the PS4 and Steam. So I don't know why Final Fantasy is getting all this love all of a sudden, but that's a lot to be coming out. And I won't be getting it, but I'm glad that it's coming out.
You don't think this is in preparation for any type of like episode 1 of the reboot, do you?
I wish, but I just can't imagine that's. If they came out with something if it was $300, I would get it. I'd be like, baby, listen.
I know we need in the pantry, but
right. You remember when I made that pantry earlier this year? I'm gonna need to borrow $300. So I just like anytime these get re-released and people show love for it. I don't know why it's getting re-released or anything like that, but I like that it's getting spread out. And I think this is going to be the first time that a Final Fantasy is on a Nintendo console in like forever. Because I don't know when the last time a Final Fantasy was on a Nintendo console. So we'll see what happens, Bishops.
Yeah.
Christopher?
We will.
Yeah, back to you, Doc.
So do you guys remember YouTube gaming?
Oh yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, that's going away. So
It's going away?
yeah, that's going away. So
It didn't work.
Yeah, they made a post on their blog, and they just said that, instead of this gaming specific channel, we're just going to put game specific content and other features on the dedicated home YouTube website, rather than having it broken out to this other weird thing that nobody really kind of understood.
Right.
And even like when it came out, I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. I'll give this a try. And any of the streaming that I've ever done for Married to the Games, I do it on YouTube, and it would, technically speaking, go to YouTube Gaming, but I never quite got it. I was like, there's this weird stuff, and you can't really do this over there. And do you have to use the app? Because if I just go to the browser, it's in the site. It was just always this weird half-baked feeling kind of thing, and they basically just decided like, oh yeah, well, it caused a lot of confusion for people, and a lot of this people were just going to YouTube proper to watch it anyway, so we're just going to kill it off and do everything and have a gaming specific section on YouTube. It is going to last and be around until March 2019, so they're giving it some time for, I guess, if you're a YouTube gaming lover, you can give it a proper send-off and look forward to just like pouring one out on the street for YouTube gaming.
YouTube gaming.
But yeah, I don't feel like this is super surprising, but at the same time, I kind of had the same reaction as it. It's like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh, okay, going away. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I never knew it was something that would need to go away. I didn't realize it was that different from YouTube.
Yeah, because it was so again, maybe I have some of this wrong because I couldn't understand. But it's like
all that stuttering is why it's going away.
Yeah, on the browser, like if you're on a desktop, everything just happened like it was on YouTube. But if you were in the app, like on an iPad or something on Android or any of that kinds of stuff, it was its own dedicated app, but it was weirdly split out, but it didn't really make sense, and you had to subscribe separately to that versus the other one, but somehow they were linked, and it was just a big, weird mess. But, I mean, Google's that way. They like to just experiment with something like, oh, let's do this thing. That didn't work.
Yeah, because they can.
Now let's do this. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
true.
surprising that it was weird, but it was weird nonetheless.
Huh.
So
That is weird.
can't beat
Well,
that old Twitch,
that's-
I guess.
That thing's a beast. Speaking of Twitch, ESPN the magazine's October
Yeah.
issue
Yeah.
Interesting.
is going to have Ninja on the front cover.
Right.
Tyler Ninja Blevins. And it's so interesting. They covered the story today on ESPN. We just kind of keep ESPN on in the house. And there were, they kind of talk about him like he just got here, like he's, overnight success. And it was interesting to see their piece on him, but also pretty endearing. Like he seems like a really nice guy and just super popular. And they were kind of talking to him about the money. They were like, hey, we can't get away from the money. And he kind of hinted that he's probably making like upwards of like $800,000 a month right now.
Yep.
And so the guy kind of threw out the $500 number, and he was like, yeah, and he was like, but it's got to be more than that now, right? He was like, I mean, could be. And he was like, are you like around 1 million? He's like, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you know, obviously he didn't want to talk about it too much because, you know, you don't want to be that kind of guy. But I think it's awesome that ESPN is showing so much love to this guy. And he seems like a good kid. I've never watched him. I've only kind of watched him in stories about him. But I know that people love him, and he's making a killing.
And they mentioned the whole Drake, the night that Drake jumped on and played Fortnite and did that piece was good. I mean, I watched it too, and I'm like, you know what? That's like that's cool. He's a good guy, and he seems like a good guy, and seems pretty down to earth, and you know, go for it. I don't watch his videos, but you know what? He took something and ran with it. So Godspeed. That's great.
Yeah, and he said he's been streaming since like 2008, and so you know that's a long time. That's before streaming was streaming. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
He's definitely put in the work. I think he's like 27 years old or something like that, and so
yeah.
And they were saying, I didn't realize this, that he games 6 days a week for 10 to 12 hours a day.
See, and that's. Do you remember last month when I talked about the Orkin man that came over complaining about gamers making money online?
Yeah.
Yes.
He came back Monday, and I was gaming at the time. And he just seemed so upset. He was like, kids today don't have a work ethic. And I'm like, this kid's sitting at a desk 6 hours 6 days a week for 10 hours a day. That's kind of that's a work ethic right there. You know?
That's more than a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's like into overtime. You should be getting paid.
Right. I mean, sue me for enjoying my job. You know, don't be jealous, exterminator.
Yeah, sorry you're an Orkin man. Like if that's what you're hating, not that Orkin man's a bad job, but like obviously he's got a, you know,
right
situation.
He's got some issues.
Anyway. Yeah, exactly.
It's just at the end of the day, it's like people who don't understand that kinds of stuff, or just like, let's say entertainment in general, whatever it is, whether you stream games, or
they don't think it's work,
whether you're a singer or whatever. It's people who didn't ever do the creative side of things.
Yes.
I think it's not, they use terms like, oh, they don't have work ethic, or they use these kinds of terms, but at the end of the day, what they really mean to say is like, oh, these people are just dreamers, and they don't like that dreamers can make their dreams reality.
Right.
That's what they don't like, because either they don't dream or their dream couldn't become reality. Because you're right, like some people will do it for like 10, 12 years, and they're still barely scraping by. And at some point, you need to be like, okay, you know, it didn't work out. You gave it a good run. Maybe you should try to switch gears here and do something a little bit more, better, put you in a better position. But there's nothing wrong with people giving their dream a shot, you know? And if it works out, because I mean, I'll tell you right now, some of these top streamers like Ninja and whoever else, like, I mean, just look at the crazy controversy that comes up about the smallest little things sometimes. Sometimes it's big things, like they say one wrong thing, you know, or something that's taken out of context, and then they've got to deal with drama for like 10 months or whatever it is. It's like, that's not like a simple, hey, I'm just sitting back, kicking in, bringing in the money. It's like, no, they're dealing with stuff too. It's not an easy job. If you think it is, try it yourself, and then you'll see, you know?
Well, I think too, just to entertain for that long is tough. And I had a girlfriend too, way before I met Jenny, and her dad did not get my job at all. Like when we would sit down and talk serious, he's like, I mean, I know you're doing the music thing now, but that's not like a real gig.
Exactly.
You know, and here I've been doing it for 17 years, and like that's how I pay my bills. You know what I mean?
It's such an old school train of thought, because you know, back in the day,
yeah, but he was a photographer.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
I'm like, you above all people should understand, like, that you be able to take a craft and make them, like, you take photos of things, and that's how you make your living. I could say, you know, I could be jaded and turn it to him too. Like, oh, well, you just take pictures of stuff.
Did you ever flip the script on him? Because I totally would have done that.
No,
yeah, you should have.
He's my girlfriend's dad. I'm not going to do that. Disrespect him in his own house.
I mean, I wouldn't have done it like the first time I met him, but like, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
down the road.
He did not like it, but he was like, well, when Gabe gets a real job kind of thing.
Yep.
And
especially in the Nashville area to say that.
I know. I'm like, you spit and land on a musician.
Right.
And maybe not somebody who's making a living. You know what I'm saying? I'm lucky enough that I make a living.
Right.
So anyway, I'm proud of this dude. I don't know him at all. I wouldn't know the first thing to say to him. He could walk past me on the street and I might not know who he is, but I just love that it seems like he's representing well. He seems to be a guy that not a lot of terrible controversy comes out. You know, we saw the thing a couple weeks ago, him talking about not streaming with women and stuff like that. And people were all mad about that. But I thought his reasoning was good. He was like, look, we live in a rage culture. If I do something with a girl, then they want to say I'm cheating, and then that jeopardizes me and my wife's thing, and I just don't want her even kind of feeling like that, so I stay far away from it. Toby does the same thing. Like, he doesn't go out to dinner with women by himself. Like,
no,
it just looks bad from his standpoint. You know what I'm saying? People be like, oh, I saw Toby Mac at the blah, blah, blah. And people jump to conclusions. And, you know, so I'm like, he had a good reason. It wasn't like, girls suck at games, that's why I don't play with them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like anything crazy like that.
Yeah, it wasn't something like that. It was.
But it's a much better headline if you say he won't play with girls.
Right. It's just clickbait. I could not stand when that story came out. I was like, look, you know, I'm not even in the public eye. And I remember I went to lunch with one girl that listened to the podcast once, and people around me were like, you went to lunch with a girl? And I was like, no, I went to lunch with a girl, her aunt, and her cousins. Like, you know what I'm saying? But even in my small, like, even in my small circles, man, you shouldn't be going to lunch with girls. I was like, I mean, I guess I can feel you. So if it happens in my small circle, it's definitely going to happen in his large, on the internet, streaming all the time circle. Yeah. And people don't need to have their, you know, he's like, I don't need my wife feeling any kind of way about that.
Yeah, I think it's great, too, for him now, because a lot of people, they're so against video games to begin with. And it was funny, at the end of that feature, even the guys that were featuring the feature were like, I think he said at the end, man, I'm old, or something like that. Something to that effect that, you know, this is kind of beyond him. Like, no, that not everybody gets it, but that's fine. You don't have to. But at least I'm just glad that they're at least recognizing it, because it's there and it's not going away. We have all these different leagues now, and there's all kinds of things happening. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, I think so, too. And I think that it's easy to be jaded about anything. Like, you could almost turn anything into something stupid.
Because you don't understand it.
Just by the way you say it. It's like, oh, so you get to be on TV and talk about other people playing sports? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could turn it any other way. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, obviously we choose not to, because we know better than that. But some people just can't wait to throw a stone.
My prediction, I'm going to make a prediction right now about Tomb Raider.
Do it. All right. Let's put a bet on it.
Yeah, let's bet on it.
Chris loves to bet.
And I, because people love to take headlines and make it the flashy thing, I predict people are going to complain about Tomb Raider, and the headline will read, Tomb Raider, actually a game about a girl trying to get new boots. And if you've played the game, you'll understand what I mean.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that would be sad. I hope that doesn't happen.
I hope that doesn't, but I could totally see someone who's bored and wants to get mad about something. Saying, you know what? This game is against girls because she's just trying to get new boots.
Unbelievable.
Lord have mercy. Chris, what else you got?
One other announcement that we had, I think it came out today, was that Red Dead Redemption is going to have a Red Dead Online tied in with the game.
Of course it will.
And it's kind of, I was a little bit blown away by how many people seem to have had their mind blown at this announcement, because I was like, I mean, you've seen why GTA keeps selling in the whole GTA Online.
Right.
How it's like, did you not expect
Same
there was
company,
gonna be
right?
Yeah, did you not
Rockstar.
expect there was going to be a Red Dead Online? Because Lord knows I did.
Yeah, it's like Foo Fighters puts out another rock album. You're like, whoa.
Exactly, right? It's like, why is this so surprising?
Everyone's freaking out.
It's the same people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is going to launch in November 2018, and it is going to have an open beta. So it's not going to be launching when the game launches, because the game comes out in October. I think like mid to late October, something like that. So it is.
Let me ask you something about the wording open beta real quick.
Yeah.
Does open beta just mean anybody can play it that's pre-ordered the game?
No.
Or open beta means anybody can play it at any time?
Yeah, so real quick, let me rephrase, because I'm so used to seeing open beta. They actually worded it as public beta. So they didn't use the word open, but to answer your question, typically open beta means, yes, that even if you haven't pre-ordered the game, you will be able to play it. A private beta, 9 times out of 10, is tied to like a pre-order or something, or if you just know somebody and they give you a code to get into it or something like that. And then there's the alpha. Those are usually really locked down to where, you know, you need to know a developer and they give you access to a game or something like that.
And then is public beta different?
I kind of say public and open as being the same thing, because as far as I can tell, they are the same thing. But I just want to make sure I didn't misquote them, that they said they use the term public and not open. But
so anybody could have played Blackout when they were doing the
so
open beta?
with Blackout, it was it was tied to pre-orders for the first few days on PlayStation. Then it opened up to everybody else. Then it opened up to Xbox and everybody else, or something like that. That's how it went.
Gotcha,
yeah, so the first so many days, it's tied to, if you pre-order the game, you get early access to the Blackout beta. But then at some point, it became open to where anybody could just download it and play it. You just wouldn't have as many days with it as someone who had gotten it through because it was tied to a pre-order or whatever. But yeah, that's typically what that means.
Gotcha.
So it has all this. Red Dead Online is basically kind of what you expect. They haven't really detailed like missions and different things you're gonna be able to do, but they are saying you're gonna be able. It's based off of the Red Dead Redemption, the game and its map and all of its things. You're gonna have a custom character creator. You're gonna be able to explore the open world. You're gonna be able to play with friends or by yourself. You will have missions and stuff tied into it, and they're going to be announcing more things as it gets a little bit closer and when it's actually going to go to the beta process. But yeah, so Red Dead Online. I actually kind of like the name. I mean, because I thought it was going to be like Red Dead Redemption 2 Online. I like that they shortened it a little bit. So
yeah, I'm
kind of cool with that. And I've said that I'm going to get Red Dead because I feel like it's going to be. I don't know. I just want to jump in and see what all the hype is about because I never played any of the other two Red Dead games. But whether or not I'm going to dabble with the Red Dead Online, I mean, I'm sure I'll jump in and see what the beta is like, but I don't know if I didn't really get into GTA Online. I dabbled a very little bit, and by that time I was already done with GTA 5 anyways, but I was like, well, I'll dabble with this a bit, and it just didn't really do much for me. And I'm sure this is going to be a slow burn like the other one. Like, it's probably going to be a little rocky in the beginning because GTA Online was, and then it's probably going to smooth out and just get better over time, but I don't know that I'll be around there, but kudos for them. We might be seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 on the top 5 for the next 28 years.
Exactly.
Who knows?
You never know.
I wonder if that knocks off GTA 5.
Oh yeah.
Like
I would be very curious.
Away.
I don't think it will either.
I think
it's a different time period. Different.
As popular as Red Dead is, I feel like it can't overtake GTA, but I mean, I guess it's got as good a shot as anybody else, or maybe even a better shot because it's their pedigree. So I don't know.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it sure is.
That's for sure. My last story, just because it's a dad thing and sad.
Great! I thought it was gonna be a dad joke.
This will be uplifting.
Well, it's not sad like boo-hoo sad, but just like sad. You'll see.
Pathetic. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly.
I got you now.
So I don't know where this is. Rockingham Park. Anybody know where that is? Rockingham Park. So there's a mall at Rockingham Park, and a dad had his. Is that how you say that? A dad had his toddler. Rockingham Park. Yeah. Climb into like a prize vending machine.
Yes, I saw this. Oh my gosh.
Okay, that's in New Hampshire, by the way.
New Hampshire, Salem, New Hampshire.
Dad of the year.
And steal out like a 3DS and a Nintendo Switch.
Oh, jeez.
They caught him. Oh, good. I was just looking it back
they did?
up.
Okay.
Dad of the year.
Yeah, so he was caught on camera, like from the malls, like having his toddler climb into this thing and steal. Oh my gosh. He's a teacher too.
No.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Anthony Helinski, Helinski, had his kid climbing the thing.
Oh my gosh.
And start stealing the games out. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever.
Wow.
It doesn't even look like he's trying to be discreet about it. He's just like, okay, honey, yeah, now keep. I mean, you can't hear the audio, but that's what it kind of seems like he's doing.
I mean, how discreet can you be in a mall?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, what an idiot. Anyway.
Very brazen.
Yes, very out there enough for, maybe it was somebody recording him. I have no idea, but pretty sad, but kind of hilarious all at the same time.
Oh, humanity.
Yeah, I blame it on the Grey Goose. What else you got, Christopher?
The last thing that I have is we have one other game that has been announced that is going to be streamed to the Switch, only in Japan, and it's going to be Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So,
really?
So just like the Resident Evil I think it was Resident Evil 7 was doing that. It was going to be a streaming only version, but again, only in Japan. So Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft announced that they're going to try the same thing with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't know if it's going to release the same time, like the exact same date as it does around the rest of the world. But, hey, I guess the more people that give it a shot, maybe it works really well. I haven't seen any reports as to how well it works over there. But I mean, if they're continuing to give it a shot, it must work at least okay for some people.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
Yeah, I wish they would bring that over. I love that they're doing that, and I love that there's at least opening up that opportunity. I hated it on the Vita, but again, I don't think I must have been doing something wrong. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Be interesting. Oh, and speaking of, the online service did launch yesterday. Yesterday night. So I wasn't there for launch. But I did it this morning, and it was fine this morning. It must have gone crazy last night when everybody was trying to sign up. But yeah, got on and played some Dr. Mario, and the wife was excited to see Mario Brothers 3 on there. She was like, "That used to be my junk." I was like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
Nice. Baby number 4.
No, sir. This would be distracting. Distracting from that. All kind of distractions.
That's awesome.
Oh, my gosh. Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
What you got for us?
Let's see. Over on the YouTube channel, new this week, I put up my play of the Forza Horizon 4 demo. You can check that out. It looks great, but no one's surprised by that at all.
That's right.
Let's see. Chris has got Spider-Man parts 11 through 22 up there. Chris is going to town. Love those, and love watching Chris play
more
that.
to come soon.
More to come soon. By the time this posts, there will probably be more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there will.
check those out for sure. And then Shadow of the Tomb Raider parts 1 through 5 up there as well.
There you go.
Looking at the top 10 YouTube videos, combining the average watch time and views for the week of September 12th through the 18th. Number 10, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Part 1.
Hey, yeah, Chris. I mean, yeah, Ed. I forgot Chris is doing Spider-Man.
That's right. You got us confused because Chris shaved.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
That's right.
We're twins now. You can't tell us apart.
That's right. No. He looks exactly the same.
Number 9, Watch Dogs 2 Part 6, bottom dollar complete.
Yeah, Chris.
Number 8, Hue Part 7, yellow. Get him, Chris.
I wonder if I should go through that door. Or...
Number 7, Married to the Games, episode 313, Friendly Neighborhood MTTG. Number 6, Gabe and
I didn't
Chris.
know how to make that rhyme. I was like, oh, shoot.
It
I
worked.
was like, I'll just put MTTG on the end of it.
You got it. Number 6, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2. Way to go, Chris.
Oh, good job, Chris. He is the only one in that video.
That's right.
It's true.
Number 5, Ori and the Blind 4, Chris, Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp.
Well played.
Number 4, Hugh Part 4, Pink. Number 3, Hugh Part 10, University. Number 2, Hugh Part 11, Ending. Number 1, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Chris.
I like it. Just Chris.
Do you guys want to hear a couple reviews? We got
Snap, do we have some reviews?
Yes, we do. We of course we do.
Man. Oh, snap. I'm nervous.
Well, don't be nervous. The first one's a 5-star review.
Yay!
With the heading "In Jokes for Everyone." And,
Okay.
This is by File Under Action.
Oh, I know that
I
guy.
believe that's Kale.
He's like, these guys suck at Overwatch, but besides that.
Getting
And
better.
File Under Action writes, I only wrote this review so Ed would say duty on the show.
Nice.
The guys are fun and they talk about video games. What more could you want?
That's right.
Our next review is
Nice.
from
I'll take it.
another 5-star review.
Ooh.
The heading from fan to fam.
Aw.
And this is submitted by
I
someone named...
hope they don't mean famine.
Oh, that's true. Heavens to Murgatroyd.
All right,
Stage left even.
All right, Snagglepuss.
Thank you.
He cads. It's the Lap Olympics already.
Yes. This is submitted by someone named Bad Gamer Elite.
Oh, I've heard of that guy too.
Oh, okay, I've heard of
This
him.
guy's been around a long time for not reviewing.
I know. It says there are many podcasts that I enjoy. Married to the Games, however, has consistently taken the stance of it's not just a show, it's not just a community, it's a family.
That's right.
They cover the latest gaming news and have reviews of sorts, but the heart of the show is about loving others the way they want to be loved. Ooh. I'm not a crier, but there have been many episodes where I get choked up looking at you, McCracken. There are many more where I laugh so hard I may have peed a little, still looking at you, McCracken.
That's amazing.
Sweet.
The guys are relatable and courteous to everyone in the community, as far as I can tell, which that's weird to put in there.
That's right. Yeah, thanks a lot for the caveat.
Yeah, right.
You wait till you see our DMs.
Yeah, exactly. They're jerks off the podcast.
That's probably directed at me.
And they even tolerate this big ol' nerd in Co-op Games Weekly. Thank you, guys. Also, I'd rate 6 stars if Router would get on that Overwatch train.
Oh, my gosh. I love you. I love you, Lem. That's awesome.
Thank you for the iTunes reviews, you guys. We love you guys.
That is the best. Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
That's great, man.
My gosh. Well, every week, thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
We ask you a question. Last week was no different. We asked you, how did you meet your gaming buddies? Shout them out. No family allowed. And everybody was pretty good about this because I didn't want people to be like, I've been gaming with my brother forever.
Yeah.
We've got the mighty Paolo.
What?
Yes.
I'm just saying, you mentioned a dude on a podcast 1 week.
And they resubscribe.
And they
Exactly.
That's right.
Thanks for coming back.
That's right.
The scientist said, he said, met this one guy after he kept stalking me for being the only other MTTG listener living in the same country as him. Speaking of Brazil, had to meet him so he'd shut up about it. Now I've moved across the country and we don't get to hang out anymore.
Aww.
But I still love you at MTTG Brazilian team. Talking to Mr. Ham.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
That's a meeting that went really well. We
Yep.
got to move to the other side of the country.
Exactly. I met, and so I moved to California.
This dude is way too close, and he's 6 hours from us right now.
Exactly. Oh man, Jacob Hammond. I met a gaming buddy through another gaming podcast called Thumbstick Athletes. He lives in Iowa, and I live in Idaho. Shout out to RP Green Machine 4. He and his wife are having their first baby.
Congratulations.
Shout out. I like that. Seth Roy at Seth Joseph Roy said through MTTG and then PSVG. Shouting out playing Nintendo, PSVG Kevin, Psycho Cross, and Josh Bones.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Good job on the shout outs. Over on Facebook, we got Matthew Shepard, my best gaming buddy I met in high school. That one's easy. We've been gaming since the days of winter break and band camps. Our other gaming buddy I met at LAN parties held in the campus computer lab in college. It started with fun banter during Call of Duty 2 death matches. He would always give me grief for my long distance shotgun kills. 15 to 20 years later, the three of us are still gaming together on the regular.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Whoa, I love that. Greg Legowski, my college buddies from back in the day, we spent so many hours on my Genesis in my dorm room and have kept on gaming all these years since. I love that, man. Golly. Brandon Dunavant.
Nice.
That's what I'm going with.
Well
this
said.
Is sweet. This is sweet. I met my fiance playing World of Warcraft. We used to be on a raid team and did challenge modes in MOP, which MOP is Mists of Pandaria. That's how I'm going to say that. And have been friends ever since. Finally got a chance to meet her almost 2 years ago, and now we're getting married next year.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
She's the best of many friends I've made in WoW over the years.
That's awesome.
Man.
That's great.
Congratulations, Brandon. Way to pull the trigger, brother.
That's so cool.
He's like, I mean, we've been raiding together all this time. You want to raid the rest of this life together? That's probably how that went.
I do.
So I'm thinking.
Exactly. Nova Beyond over on Discordia. I met my gaming buds back in high school. We've been playing Madden together for several years now. We try to play every Friday night. Other than that, I met most of my gaming buds through here, and I consider most of these guys as more than just gaming buds.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
I know, that's the best. Chris the Rock. I mostly play solo like Tim, but I do play Destiny once a week with work buddies. We're all very into it and sometimes book strategy meetings at the office.
Oh, that's awesome.
If we get a bad case of one more itis, at least we're all in it together the next day.
That's so cool.
Hey, there you go.
I love that.
They're just walking in, tired bags under your eyes with your coffee, like, hey, man, at least we got him. At least we got him.
That's right.
Zach Old, the ultimate time suck, World of Warcraft. Still surprised by the amount of hours I put in that still surprised by the amount of hours I put in that my wife married me. But
Nice.
from those relationships doing raids, I met lifelong friends and my first podcast co-host.
Very nice.
I love it. Thank you guys for answering. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games, Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, marriedtothegames.com. Those shirts went out this week, by the way. You can buy some shirts, buy a mug. Like Ed said, youtube.com/Married to the Games. On Patreon at patreon.com/MTTG. Come throw $1 in the jar. We'd appreciate it. And about to start gearing up for this whole Extra Life, extra-life.org/team/MTTG. I got to talk to Eric Thompson about some things this week so we can get this thing on and popping. Thank you guys so much. Edward.
Rate us on iTunes, subscribe, write a review, and we'll let you know that there's a door over there you might want to open.
That's right.
Nice.
Good job. Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we've got another Gaming Buddy answer, and this is a great one. Email from Mr. Brett T. Bawden.
Oh, yeah.
You can always email us, mailbag at marriedtothegames.com. My gaming buddy is Josh Stapleton. You all know him as a member of the MTTG Street Team. What you don't know is that he is not the OG Street Team member. Mrs. Stephanie Stapleton, Josh's amazing wife, is the OG Street Team gamer. The Stapletons used to live in my neighborhood, and we attended the same church congregation. Stephanie would organize and host the most amazing game nights on a monthly basis. Half of the neighborhood would cram into their kitchen and living room and play games until the wee hours of the night. Not only did we have a great time every time, we made lifelong friends that have lasted long after everyone has moved away. One game night, I showed up wearing a Zelda t-shirt, and Josh showed me his game collection. At the time, I was a Nintendo-only guy, and I couldn't figure out why Josh owned both an Xbox and a PlayStation. He tried to explain it to me, but I was stubborn in my Nintendo fanboydom. To drive his point home, he literally unplugged his PS3 and handed it to me with a copy of The Last of Us and said, "Take this home and play it."
Wow.
For me, it was love at first sight. Not for Josh, but for PlayStation and Naughty Dog.
Josh as well, though.
Josh and I went on to become gaming buddies, but I am eternally grateful for his wife and her desire to bring people together through her love of Christ and for her sacrifice to, quote, hold down the fort so that Josh can sneak away from his fatherly duties once in a while to play games with me. Hashtag OG MTTG Street Team.
Nice.
I like that.
Is awesome. Stephanie, you win. Hands down. You win.
Yeah.
That's got to be close to a platinum trophy right there. That's amazing.
You're the godmother.
That's
Right?
the godmother. We have a godmother in our family now, which is amazing. So kudos to
love
you.
it.
Love me some Stapletons. That entire family is amazing. So, and Brett, thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome.
Right? Wow.
So who knew, right? That's crazy.
That is awesome.
Yep, loving that. All right, we're going to move on to Discord. Oh, here we go. Lucas Ham. It's a night show, and my question is the first one for 2 weeks in a row now. How lucky am I? If I am real lucky, maybe Router will ban me again, which is secretly his way of showing love. Am I right, Router? Anywho, on this day in 1995, Orville Redenbacher passed away. So my question is a lightning round about all things popcorn. Ready?
Oh, okay.
Time to pop them out. Number one, popcorn or
Lord.
chips?
Chips.
Chips.
Yeah, man. Is it buttered popcorn? Is it? No, man.
Right. There's a lot of factors here, right?
I think chips, though.
Nah, I think I'm going chips too. Homemade.
I disagree. I'm also going chips.
Homemade or a microwavable bag?
I haven't had anything but microwavable in forever. I don't even know what the other stuff tastes like anymore. How about the movie kind? If I have to choose.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I don't even.
I mean, I think microwavable because it's easier. I mean, back in the day.
Let me ask you this, though. Microwavable and oven top, I mean, one's just the quicker version of the same exact thing, right?
Right.
As far as I know.
Well, the old school, you would have the oil and then you put the kernels in there. And
right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Is there really a difference? I don't know.
Banned.
I don't know. All right, next. All right, next question. Butter or no butter?
None.
Oh.
You know, I mean, I don't mind some,
handy.
but usually when you say butter, people like drench the thing. It's like,
that's
no.
the thing.
That's
Exactly.
Right. So
they go crazy with it.
I'll probably go no, but I don't mind.
I'm going light butter.
Ooh, light butter. Okay, I like that. I'll do that.
That's what we always ask for at the theater. We're like, ooh, light butter, like maybe in the middle, and then we like get our hand in there and swish it around.
What if it's
There
shea
you go.
butter? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
jeez. Dad joke. Sweet or
Shea butter.
sweet or salty?
Cocoa butter.
Salty. Salty.
Sweet.
Salty.
I like a little bit of both, actually. Caramel.
You would.
Yeah, caramel or kettle?
Caramel.
Ooh, caramel.
Caramel.
Chris?
I don't know. I don't think I've had caramel, and I don't know what kettle is. I don't know what does that mean exactly? Is that like a?
One like likes to cut up the roof of your mouth. I know that much.
right.
Well, I don't want that one. Whatever that is, I
Exactly.
want the opposite.
Caramel
Yeah.
it is for
Sure,
Chris.
there you go.
Yeah, there it
Nice.
is. Eat the unpopped kernels and break your teeth or throw them away?
Throw them away.
Eat.
Absolutely throw them away.
Here's a little trick. What you do is after you've microwaved your popcorn, you open it just a little bit. I mean, just a sliver. Turn it upside down, you shake it, and the kernels fall out.
Ooh.
You make the slit just big enough for the kernels to go through, but not the popped popcorn. That way, when you're reaching in there, you don't have to worry about getting that
Look at
random
you. Look at you.
jawbreaker.
Love
Hey.
it.
Nice.
There you go.
Stick with the chubby ninja on these
That's
things.
right. The ninja knows.
That's right.
And that's the more the ninja knows. Bring. Share a large bowl with someone or split it out between smaller bowls?
Split it out.
Split it out.
Yeah. So
Split it
I need
out.
your grubby hands in mine.
Unless we're at the movies.
Well, yeah. Then you don't have a choice, really.
I don't really have popcorn outside the movies is what I'm learning about myself.
Really?
There you go.
I don't either, so I almost never have it.
Exactly.
Toss it in the air in your mouth or grab a fistful and shove it in.
Fistful.
Fistful.
Are the kids watching? Because if they're watching, I'm throwing it in the air and catching it in my mouth because it's
Yeah,
so
me too.
impressive to people under 10 years old.
So much fun, right?
But he didn't put in the option that I use the most when I'm at the movies again is just tonguing that thing at the very top.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You
Yeah.
got to get that sticky. You gotta
Yeah, man.
You got to chameleon that stuff and just.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfect. I love it. All right, that's all for now. Thanks for participating, and sorry if I made you hungry for some popcorn. It sounds like we all want more chips than we want popcorn. So,
Yeah, exactly. Maybe hungry for some Fritos.
so Lucas banned. There you go.
Lucas banned Swisher.
Lucas Bam Swisher. Boom. Well done. Okay, Bad Gamer Elite, that Lem guy, he's already said some amazing stuff, but here's a good one. Ultimate smoothie ingredients. Go.
I like the mixed berries with a banana, some OJ and the not peanut butter, but like the
PB2?
it's peanut butter, but it's like the dusty kind. It's not like
the
what
powder.
you would get. Yeah, the
It's
powder.
Yeah, the
PB2?
peanut
Is that
butter
what it's
powder.
called?
I have
Yes.
no idea. It
Yes,
comes in a
you are
big jug though, like I went
Yep.
to GNC though. I know
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, I'm mostly
bulk
the
up,
same
man.
as Gabe, but minus the PP2 or peanut butter, whatever that is. I'll get that out of there. But the rest of it, yeah,
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
There you go, Edward.
Yeah, I'm the same. Mixed berries, banana, and a big old spoonful of peanut butter.
Nice, Timmy.
Yeah, I'm pretty much there with you too. I could light on the peanut butter, just a little hint of it, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I love it. That's great.
If I'm out and about and I don't know how they mix up the berries though, I'm pretty good with a strawberry banana.
Yeah, I can always
yeah.
do a strawberry
Oh,
banana.
yeah.
That's like a
That'll
go-to.
always work. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good question. Calm Fury, your families have just won a trip out of the country, leaving you home alone for a 1-week staycation. What games do you try to clear from your backlog with no work or family responsibilities that week? Ed, you cannot answer this one.
Yeah, Ed and Chris both can't answer.
Ed and Chris are banned from this question.
I believe we just answered it at the beginning of the show.
You sure did.
Tim, what about you?
Games to try to clear from the backlog. The only game I have in my backlog is Watch Dogs 2, and that's still in its cellophane. So, yeah, I'd probably try and do that.
That's what I was going to say. Watch Dogs 2 or whatever the other Tomb Raider was.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep, that's a good one too. All right.
I really want to beat shoot, what is it? What's that alien game that I really like that I never beat?
Prey?
Oh.
Alien Isolation.
No.
No.
Alien Isolation.
Shoot.
XCOM 2.
XCOM, yes. XCOM.
Oh, yeah.
That one's just I really want to beat that game. I just haven't got anywhere close.
Yep. All right. Fluxel. By some magical accident, you are put into a video game as the villain. What video game villains would be your first and last choice?
Ooh, last choice would be Mr. Negative so far. I haven't met him yet, but I don't like him. My first choice would be man, that's a tough one. Maybe what was his name? Pagan Min?
Pagan Min, yeah.
Oh, right.
I really liked him.
Yep, me too.
Christopher?
Man, I don't really know. I'd probably want to be, so we pick one that we'd want to be and one that we'd least want to be, right?
That's right.
I would want to be probably Liquid Snake, only because he's a persistent enemy and he was basically the villain half of Solid Snake in the Metal Gear series. And then I would not want to be... Oh, man. You know what? I don't want to be the guy that was the main villain in the most recent Far Cry 5.
Joseph C.
Yeah, I don't want to be him.
Oh,
Dude's
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. That guy did seem nuts.
Right.
Edward?
I will pick for the one I would like to be would be Handsome Jack from Tales from the Past.
Dang it.
What a great answer.
Shoot. You took mine.
Great answer.
And I would not want to be Borf from Space Ace.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes,
gosh.
very much. You cannot win. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Digging in the crates, Edward.
That's right.
Right? It's the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, right. I'm last choice is I'm with you, Chris. Joseph Seed, because he's just crazy. And first choice is the same as you, Ed. That was perfect. Yep. Borderlands can't go wrong. Handsome Jack.
Yeah, that's a great answer.
We got everybody, right? We're good?
Yes, sir.
Don Star Lancer. So excited for the PlayStation Classic. What's on your wish list beyond the games announced? We pretty much already covered that.
Yeah, we covered that one. Siphon Filter for me. For Chris, Metal Gear Solid.
That's exactly.
There you go.
All right, Facebook, Matthew Serta. If you were the most sought-after background vocal singer in the world, what living artist would you sing for?
Oof.
I'm not answering that question and get myself fired.
It's a trap.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. I know where my bread is buttered, baby.
That's right. But
And I appreciate all that margarine.
that is good, Gabe. Well played. Well played.
Gabe's like Michael W. Smith. No question.
Carmen.
Kevin Max.
Yeah. None of those.
Oh, that is hilarious. Oh man.
If I had to choose other than my job, obviously it'd be Bruno Mars.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
that's a good one.
Dang it.
But I love my job. Number one, I don't want to.
Yes, you do.
Especially in
yeah,
our
yeah,
industry, I wouldn't want to sing for any. It's not even close. I wouldn't want to sing for anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Chris?
took mine, Gabe. Bruno Mars, because we would just have so much fun.
Oh yeah, it looks like fun.
Yep.
Christopher,
Man, I don't know. I would just shoot. I'd probably be some
you know who had background singers for one song?
who.
Foo Fighters. For one song, and that seems like a sweet gig for a background singer.
Yeah.
They came out, did one song, and left, and get to tour the world doing that. One song a night.
That sounds pretty good.
That's why I was giving you
All
that.
right, I'll go with that.
Edward,
You took. I was going to say Bruno Mars too, so I'll just say. You know what? I'll say. I'll say James Brown.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Yeah.
On a good foot. I'm surprised you didn't say Weird Al.
I know. That's what I was
for
thinking.
Sure, you were going Weird Al.
Nah, man.
That's awesome.
I want to be able to actually sing. So
There you
I'm gonna
go.
pick someone that would make me able to sing.
I'm the opposite. I don't want to actually sing because I can't.
No, I mean I would like to magically have the
Yeah.
ability to sing.
But even I think that's far-fetched in
funny.
the fantasy world for me.
That's
That's
funny.
awesome. Good question. Daniel High, have you ever fallen prey to an internet or phone scam?
No.
No.
That I know of.
Nope. Not that I know of until my bank account gets cleared.
Yeah,
No,
I don't think so.
I think everybody's kind of wised up to it. I think probably in the very, very beginning, you probably would have been like, "Yeah, where's this email coming from?" and what have you. But nowadays, everybody knows, and with IP address to look up and everything, it's pretty easy.
I probably fell prey to conversing back and forth like one or two more text messages than I should when I first started on Craigslist.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, right.
There's probably a couple people that was like, "Hey, I'd love to meet up, but I'm out of town. When could I just PayPal you the money?" And me be like, "Yeah, sure, that could work." And then you're like, "Wait a second, this don't seem right."
Right.
But
All right, we got two more questions. Travis Pospisil, I think all games that are sequels should have a previously on at the beginning. Oftentimes, these games come out a couple years after the original. It's hard to remember the details, especially for the ancients like Router. Thanks, Travis. Appreciate that. It would also be nice for folks just jumping into a game that have not played the first. What are your thoughts
That's
on
right.
this? On a side note, a previously on for the podcast could be fun, too. Funny moments, etc., at the very beginning before anyone chimes in. Oh, sir. Clearly,
Yes.
you have not listened back.
yeah, we used to do them.
Yeah, we did. What happened?
Somebody told me you didn't like them, so I stopped doing them.
You're welcome.
I'm saying I read all my ideas through Ed, man. Like, even when he wasn't on the podcast, I was like, "What do you think about these previously ons?" He's like, "Eh." I was like, "All right, I'll stop doing them."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the game, too, because some games aren't continuations. So if it was a continuation, absolutely. Telltale's very good when it comes to that kind of stuff with Walking Dead. And those, that's where I really want them, because on especially episodic ones, they don't come out right away, so you forget. And so it's always nice to have a reminder.
Yeah, I say bring them on. Yeah, definitely do it previously on. I love that.
Yep.
Chris, what say you?
I don't mind them in things like the Telltale stuff, how they would do it with The Walking Dead. I'm assuming they do it with the other series as well if they tie in together. But like when it comes to, you know, the third Tomb Raider game or, you know, the fifth Uncharted or something, I don't really think it's necessary, only because there's going to be 38 versions of that on YouTube. Like, let's give you caught up on the Uncharted series in 5 minutes or whatever. And I feel like that's just good enough. And I'd rather the developers, like game making so hard as it is, it's like, man, I'd rather them just focus on really polishing things up and not worrying about like, oh, we got to put together this previously on.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
really
just
good.
going, because I feel like the community, like gaming community as a whole, they just take care of that on their own.
Yeah, what do you think about maybe if they just did them when they jumped consoles? Like, I wouldn't have minded one at the front of Mass Effect 2 because I wasn't able to play 1.
Ah,
And
that's
so I would
true.
have liked one
Yeah, I mean,
on that.
but again, back then, I feel like stuff like that would be fine. But nowadays, I just think it's so easy to just go get like a bunch of versions of the exactly what you're looking for on YouTube, and probably even better than you would get in a little like previously on kind of way of doing things.
Yeah, you might be right. I never even thought about doing that.
I
to
do
tell
it
you the
almost
truth.
every time something comes out and it's a game series like that where it's the next iteration. If I don't remember something, I'll watch they usually make something similar to that or something like
Like a
here's the
5-minute
other
wrap-up.
story or here's where things left off or something, some kind of recap. There's some YouTuber out there making that stuff, so I just watch that.
Yeah.
Or IGN or somebody does something like it.
Yeah, somebody always has something like that. Mm-hmm. Very good question. Final question. Mike Peacott, glitchiest game you've ever played and stuck with till it was repaired or till you just gave up on it. My example was The Hunter Call of the Wild. When it debuted on PS4, it was a glitchy nightmare. And now, 100 or 2 hours later, it's fairly polished with a good following.
I've got a tie. Probably, it's either The Walking Dead. I mean,
Yeah.
Wolf
What was
Among
the
Us.
other one? Wolf Among Us.
Yep.
Yeah.
But really, the glitchiest one was Batman on PC.
Oh, you poor thing.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
And I suffered all the way to the end.
Yep.
I had to play it windowed or something stupid. I forget what the workaround was.
Yeah, you did
because
because the full screen kept screwing
it
up
would
for you.
flicker. Yeah.
I
Ugh.
remember that. Yeah, mine is the same. The Wolf, not Batman. It's the Wolf Among Us. It was glitchy, but I powered through it and still love that game. Can't wait for the second one.
Yeah.
Chris?
I don't think I've ever had a game that was giving me huge performance issues that I stuck with all the way through. Probably the only one that kind of fits that question is, what was it called? Titanfall, the original one on Xbox One. It did not perform well for me. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing ever, and glitching's not really the right term, but like I had a lot of screen tearing and frame rate dips and just stuff that it didn't perform super well, but I still played it for
Just
a couple
annoying.
of months. But then I walked away from it. So and that was it was an online multiplayer game, so it wasn't like see the story from the beginning to end. There really wasn't a thing like that to go through. It just got to a point where I was like, all right, well, this has had 3 or 4 updates, and at least on my console, it doesn't play any better. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but so I walked away.
Edward?
Yeah, probably. I mean, pick an early Telltale game.
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
right.
But what definitely, I mean, as glitchy as it was, the story of Wolf Among Us was so good that it's still revered as one of the greatest games for me. So fortunately it was able to transcend the glitches and still be a great game.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely enjoyed that one. I just hated that, like, sometimes you were supposed to press R1 real quick or something, and then, like, you'd miss it.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, that's really annoying. Like, that I didn't even get a chance.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I hated too.
Good question.
Yeah, that is it for the questions. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it, as always.
Yeah, the question of the week for you guys is what I told you it was going to be last week. What is your favorite idle animation from over the years? Idle animations, obviously, are when you haven't touched the controller for a long time and the character on screen does something that they don't usually do. Mine would be, I loved Sonic tapping his foot only because it played into such his attitude at the time. And then I loved in Second Son, Delson would drum on his legs. And it kind of starts singing like, and I thought that was really cool too. Especially for these later games. I feel like they don't do them anymore as much as they used to. I feel like every game almost had them back in the day. Not really, but I feel like you rarely see them nowadays. Ed, you have one that you can think of?
Yeah, my favorite one, like you, is the Sonic one. That was just the first time I noticed it doing that. It just blew me away, really.
Yeah.
But now most of the Lego games do them, and
nice.
They're all pretty individual to the person you're playing, so it's nice. So if you're playing anyone from Batman to Mr. Incredible, they've animated a separate one for each character in there. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh, that's really cool.
Router, you got one?
Yeah, man, South Park, because Cartman or Kyle will cuss you out, and it's hilarious. It really is. It's really funny. Yeah, it's really good.
I love that. Christopher?
I can't think of an animation in particular that really stood out to me, and rarely do I stay still long enough, but I do remember back in The Last of Us that Ellie would have a lot of good lines that she would say if you just stayed stationary for too long, or if I couldn't figure out maybe a puzzle or something, or what door to go through, so I'd be pulling up a YouTube video what in the world, and then she'd be like, so we're just gonna stand here, or are we gonna go?
Or she would sing too. I think she sings.
I think even because she at one point that she figures out how to whistle, and that's part of it. Just happens during the game, even when you're moving. But I think other times, one of her stationary animations is she would start blowing her lips trying to whistle again, and you just hear the noise of her doing that. A lot of little things like that she would do, and I remember catching that, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. She had a really bad dad joke on there that was really funny. I can't remember. It had something to do with a foot. I just can't remember exactly what it was.
Wow. I think you're,
but I remember it cracking up about
vaguely remember something about that. It's those little things, though, man. It makes it just that game just a little bit more man, that's awesome that they took the time to do that.
That's right.
I love that. Sorry,
what are you going to say, Ed?
I really liked in the DLC for that when she had that pun book.
Yes.
And my favorite one was what happened to the cannibal who showed up late to the dinner party. he got the cold shoulder.
Oh, gosh.
Fantastic.
That's funny.
Fantastic.
I just found out too, Chris, on this last trip, Matt Leidy is the king of dad jokes.
Really?
Yes, he did like a boat tour thing at Cedar Point, kind of like you did, Ed, at Opryland. And the whole time he told dad jokes. So you got to connect with Matt Leidy. He's full of
I
them.
need to get up there.
That's great.
He told me a bunch. I was like, oh, snap. That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good to know.
Well, thank you guys for listening. What is your favorite Idol animation? Let us know. We will talk about it next week. 314 in the books. Happy birthday to my co-host.
Yes,
We're
sir.
6 years old, and we're going to keep it moving. I don't know how much that is in podcast years. I don't know if it's like dog years and real world years, but I know a lot of podcasts don't make it this long. And so we appreciate everybody who listens and supports us on Patreon and comes and gets with us on Extra Life and raising money for the kids, the people that have sent us gifts over the years and things like that. You guys' support does not go unnoticed. We are so appreciative. So thank you guys so much. 314 in the books. Woo. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.